Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Disney Dungeons and Dragons. I'm your Dungeon Master, August Schmidt, and with me, as always, are the wonderful you guys. Say hello, everyone.
Hello, we don't have a name yet.
Until there's names, you are you guys. That's what we're going to do it. Well, welcome. For those that have never been here before, this is a D&D 5th edition Disney-themed campaign. We don't own any of the properties. Please don't sue us. We're just having fun. Last we saw our amazing party fighting your way desperately off of Isla de Pelagosto against cannibals and blood giants with the Archmage of Sumani and his lovely wife being able to help shuttle the crew of the Pole Arm, taking down blood giants, safely getting cannibals away, also saving the life of Captain Savian, who helped as she went down against the giants. Her and her whole crew made it out alive. In talking with the Archmage, though, information was learned that perhaps when David and Kenai were at Alcatraz, a little bit of your guys' mission or goal, finding this lost treasure, may have been leaked, but you're not sure to what extent, unfortunately. All you know is Captain Phoebus did put out his personal warning to abandon this goal. That with his knowledge and some of his experience, he would advise not doing this.
Okay.
Matron Esmeralda, on the other hand, though, while she may not know a lot, just wanted you guys to be safe. She had no qualms with you guys questing, but it was more that please stay safe. And so in granting you one of her kids, goat kids, Fluffy the goat, also the deal was struck that should you have information, you can use a sending stone to get back to Captain Phoebus, and you can be paid the standard Venatory contract rate, which was bumped up a little bit to 40
That
gold
was
per
awesome.
person.
I loved that.
Because important to note, you all can automatically put 40 gold coins in your pockets as Captain Phoebus is going to take you on. And yes, any information goes directly to him. Sending stones, it would take intense magic to I don't want to say hack him, but double up a sending stone. Mm-hmm. So anything you send would only go to him. And from there, it's his choice of what he does with it. So, making your way to Sumani City, also helping you out, again, you didn't have a ship anymore. The Pole Arm rests now at the bottom of the sea, but apparently these old adventurers have a friend who seems to be docked here, came for their anniversary party. Standing at the deck of the Queen Anne's Revenge with Greasy Pegleg. Sorry, just seeing secret messages. Greasy Pegleg, matted braided graying hair. You see Small Monkey on the shoulder that immediately goes, "Hello, how's it going? Welcome to the ship." Just immediately scampers up. You guys are greeted by a pirate. And not any pirate, as immediately introducing himself to you, you see, "Welcome to me crew. The name's Barbosa." You see behind you, Barbosa comes up and gives big long hugs to both Captain Phoebus and Matron Esmeralda, who he says, "'Twas a wonderful party, but again, I better go before people understand I'm here." And you see, Phoebus, "Yes, please do be safe, Hector, on the seas." As they both make their way off up towards other parts of the port, Barbosa turns to you and says, "Right, I wasn't kidding. Technically, I owe a lot of money in this town. On the ship, on the ship, on the ship." And he kind of you notice immediately crew members are coming, grabbing random I don't know, you guys really don't have luggage, if that makes sense, but just helping shuttle you down, showing you where hammocks are on the Queen Anne's Revenge. This massive ship, I don't think any of you have seen quite an impressive galleon. It has not one but two captain quarter levels up by the helm. The mast area actually also goes up to make like a whole other level there, and it looks to have about like 4 decks worth. 3 of which have cannons. The only reason the last deck doesn't because it's all under the water. And you have to wonder, that's not nautically possible. That's not how buoyancy works. We live in a world with magic. So, given the idea, this is not your regular run-of-the-mill pirate ship. As you're all getting on the ship, you see Barbossa's first mate walks up, you could assume. Standing behind this first mate is what you could assume the second mate, and give the... Mr. Barbossa, we're all ready to leave, sir. Should we run the colours now, or should we run them... I told him we should run them later, as seeing as how we are in port. Well, if you're in port, it's a polite thing to run the colours, not if you're running the colours. You see, Barbossa immediately raises a hand, which just shuts him up. Run the colours and run us out of port. As all of you standing on the Queen Anne's Revenge are going to have a week of downtime. It's a 7-day journey. You're on a really fast ship. What are you guys doing as we start sailing towards Corona?
Inspiration points, that's for sure.
You will all, again, it doesn't stack, but yes, for those human, your inspiration point you will have a free inspiration point at the end of this journey.
For those that aren't human, can we just really quick roll a bunch of dice? And
keep trying skill checks until like, well, now
technically, we can gift our inspiration points as a human.
But inspiration points with D&D
disappear
1
at the end of
do disappear after long rests. So the inspiration points you'd be getting like on the morning before you came into port, even if, and how I'm also ruling it is with gifting them, it has to be gifted for a check. You can't just free give. Unless it's you have one and you roll one, then you can gift for free. If you're holding one, and unless you roll that 20, but like happened in the first session where Kim was about to die and David says, I have one, I'm allowing that, like, that's where you can gift them for that one-time advantage.
Which is nice because that's not what D&D 1 says. So
it's not what D&D 1 says. I think that's a fun interpretation of the rules that we'll try.
I appreciate that.
Yes, question.
we heard, oh wait, never mind. We did that ourselves. Never mind. I was gonna ask if Wade had like deciphered the... we already did.
Yeah.
Oh, but
We
you
did.
are in Sumani. You have great reception. Wade has been working, Kim, because you wanted him to start doing some research.
That's true.
Before you're out of port, before you're out of like some of his best range, Wade's gonna give you a little bit of information. Information. You see as coming into this ship, you see communicator goes off, pulling it up, arcane crystals alight around the side, and Wade's face is there. You see, again, small 14-year-old human. Are you sure you don't want to?
I got it. You got it.
Okay.
You've got 2 guys, like 3 feet away, who are both
To be
6
fair,
foot
the
plus.
computer between August and
That's fair.
exactly.
You see, though, Wade is just... Kim, I found some cool information. Are you on a pirate ship?
Don't ask. It's been a long week.
Grizzled pirates, men and women, and persons of all kinds just walking back and forth, just doing their duties. You see Wade just... That's awesome. Yeah, my location advice showed you're in Sumani City, but you're already going out of port.
Yeah, so we crash landed. Survived cannibals. And
Oh, gosh.
got picked up by Phoebus, the mage of Sumani.
I've heard about him. It takes a lot for him not to realize that I'm using some of the ley lines in Sumani.
He tried to get all the information out of me. He put me on timeout.
You
Sheesh.
did do that.
What are you, 12?
Exactly.
You see, Wade laughs and goes, no worry.
Except you are.
I've looked up some of the stuff, and I will say,
Wade is
this poem you sent me is
14.
honestly really weird. Wasn't able to find much besides what we know. Masons have been reported in many kingdoms. They're kind of a cult, but not a cult. No one's really sure what they are. I wasn't finding anything about the poem, but I did find something interesting about that line you sent. I passed the baton to you. Apparently, back in 9270, King Mufasa, the old king, before he was sovereign regent, used what he would call the baton battle strategy, in which his armies would prep and ready the brunt of the battle to pass on fresher armies hiding in wait. But the technique only occurred successfully once at a mountain pass up near Arendelle Crona. But unfortunately, that's an area now underwater due to the old Haiti stuff that happened a quarter of a century ago.
Oh gosh,
Holy cow.
That's a long time ago.
All of a sudden, all I can do is
Interesting. So do we
I
think
know,
that?
right?
So we're headed that way anyway. I wonder if what we're looking for is under
It could be.
the water.
I just found it interesting because, again, from the picture you sent, it looked like the word baton was capitalized. So I tried some of that, and that's what I was able to find in old Sumani records.
Interesting. Let's see if we find more about that. Thank you, Wade.
No problem. Hey, do you need anything else?
Guys, need anything else?
What are the rations like on the ship?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just
We're
kidding.
good.
You're not playing
I
Mike.
like
They're
it to be.
very
Yeah, I was
fine,
like, that's
actually.
not my
You're already
character.
seeing dinner's being cooked up below decks, and it smells great. In terms for like pirates and mariners.
I think we're good for now. I'll let you know. Can you do more research on that city that's underwater?
Gotcha, will do. Screens off as he'll start researching. Again, gonna probably take a while, but you unfortunately took enough time for him to get a little bit of information. It helps when you crash land. You see, though, as you're all now really setting up, this ship is so smooth. You never really notice it until you're on well-made ships. The polearm was great for what it could do, but the Queen Anne's Revenge cuts like hot knife through butter through the water. You barely feel that rocking motion. It almost feels therapeutic, the way it just gently rolls across the wind. And as we sail through, I would love everyone to tell me, I've talked with some of you, is there any other stuff you want to try, maybe a little prep or thought process while
Are you just
travel?
gonna go around the circle?
Yeah, I'm going to go around the circle, so we'll start with you, actually,
Alright,
for Saris.
Two different things.
Yes.
I'm gonna see if I can get in contact with my patron and find out, so what do I owe you?
Yes, okay.
And the other thing is, do any of the crew members look like him? Because that's what I was trying to figure out, if I could, if he was on the ship, which I doubt,
yes,
but...
smart to look for. Okay. David, some of the stuff you're doing over this journey.
I'm gonna do some fight practice with the pirate crew.
Ooh,
clever.
Mason.
Yep.
I might give you something for that. Let's
Yep,
let's
yep,
see.
yep. This feels
I
like when
have been practicing music on my
Alexia and
frogs
Elena went out into the
and
forest to kill the
seeing
scorpions.
if I can get them to make better sounds with their ribbity voices.
Musical frogs.
Also, I've been explaining to Sarah how money works. And
Oh,
other things,
thank
because
you!
we talked about it, and I was pretty sure she still didn't understand, so we're talking about that.
The
Gold can
shinier
be
they are, the
exchanged
better
for
they are.
goods
We're
and
working on it.
services.
So,
When you want stuff,
yes.
people can
And
get
numbers.
stuff.
It's really iffy on the numbers. I'm really trying to point in the number system, and it's
Listen,
really confusing. but we're
Eco
trying.
101,
Yeah.
supply and demand.
Yeah, we're
Remember
trying.
the...
Survival of the fittest.
I'll say ever so often a pirate passes by, gold's the best. Just every...
It
That's,
is the shiniest.
Right? Right?
And then if there's any dice games going on, I might be playing that too, because that sounds
Oh,
fun.
yes.
Gosh, don't
Uh,
gamble on a pirate ship.
Not gambling,
Oh, no.
but just like, can I
There's
get for free?
gonna be
Teach me?
dice games on a pirate ship. Are
Yeah.
you trying to hustle them? Or is it just like a pure, oh, let's
I
play?
think it's just like something to pass the time.
Go ahead and
and
give
a
me a
little-
pure D20 luck
Okay.
check. Let's have fun
Got
with that. We'll resolve that right now.
No,
'cause
let's play
that's
a round
fun.
of liar's dice right
I was
now.
just thinking that.
Everyone pull up. No,
They're
that's
gonna
kind of what they're
hate
playing.
us,
They're
yeah.
playing Liar's Dice. They're going to be playing what's called Three Dragon
Mamacita.
Ante. There's
10.
honestly a couple games you could play. What'd you get? Just
10.
take a look, check. 10. It's about average. It's not like you win some, you lose some. Thankfully, you don't gain or lose any
Right.
gold.
Oh,
But
he's
it's
so
fun where people like, hey, we're just playing a quick like 5 copper game, and you're like, sure,
Okay.
right? Like, trying this out. It's a lot of fun.
That
Here's what I'll say. I'm just pulling up something here real quick because. Yeah, so they're playing Lion's Favor, Sumani Hold'em, and Snack Run. What you know,
really
Snack
funny.
Run's fun. The crew, when they find rats on the ship, are brought down to one of the decks. All 5 are put under a pot. Then
I
you
love
realize
this so
they
much.
bring out a small little maze and just like release them, and the first one to get to the end wins, and you bet on which rat's gonna
Oh,
get there
that's
first.
hilarious.
Then you tie little ribbons on their tail to be able to.
Yeah,
tell.
it's exactly right. Like blue, red, green, right? These simple like old like cloths that these pirates have. It's one of those you notice like, wow, they have flags for a lot of places. Like cities you've never even heard of. You're like, wow, they're prepared. But
That
like
sounds
pirates just having
familiar.
fun tying this up, and of course blackjack, which that's everywhere, right? So they're playing a lot of fun games, and it's fun, right? You don't gain or lose much, but crazy
I
fun
had a lot
stuff.
of fun. Okay.
Antigone, what are you up to on the ship?
Prepping all of the spells. So many spells. And yeah, I think because we do have this goat, I will probably cast Find Familiar on the goat instead of like making a familiar.
The
Just
goat
because-
glows in celestial starry light.
I'm so excited.
My
And
favorite thing
you
is that
wonder
goats are related
if
to the devil and the
it's something you would
mythology.
never know. I'm just going to throw this in for flavor. When your familiar will not be around, there might be the small little constellation somewhere in the sky from where your goat might appear now.
Oh!
You made Fluffy a constellation.
You made him a
I'm sorry, you gave Fluffy a constellation, but you want to give one to Lily?
like it's a 2-star thing. Like you
Oh,
can't even
and
go.
Lily's a full god. She doesn't need a constellation.
It's why I'm
No, I
saying
mean the first
you'll
time she
never
died.
know, but it's one of those when Fluffy's around. Yeah, if Fluffy's never not summoned, right? There's 2 tiny little stars somewhere in the sky where just he might appear from.
Adorable.
That
Uh,
is super cute.
Helps with your backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah, well, because
Um,
I was also wondering about.
Here we go. Kim, you already sent off some stuff for
like it.
Wade, right? So
What's
Wade's
going
got
on?
some
What's
information
going
he can work on. What other stuff do you want to try prepping while you're going, or just maybe do in general?
I like the idea of like fighting, play fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'd also like them to teach me how to lie.
Deception, just like learning how to just lie.
Because I feel like I'm way
have,
too
like, an
honest of a
amazing
person.
Uh,
And,
Are you
like,
saying
I
Nick
feel like
or
as like in my line of
Yes.
duty, I need to get better at lying, especially if I'm trying to like fool the head dude again.
I love that this
like,
is early Kim before she, could
early
lie.
kid,
you
right?
know?
Like, yeah, it's something to. It's a
Pre-K.
skill.
Pre-KP.
Sure, I'll say you could try learning how to lie like a pirate. And Kenai, what are you up to on this
So-
long journey?
Is there like someone on board that does like the communication for the captain?
You actually, that's an interesting question. There isn't because the captain himself does his communication.
Okay, cool. So
Uh,
like, does he have like spells and stuff for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Could I ask him if he would be willing to use a spell?
You certainly can, because it would be like ascending, like a high level thing. But you could ask him to.
Okay.
What'd you be asking him to do?
I would like him to message or like do ascending to Denahide or Denahide?
Denahi.
Denahi?
Denahi, yeah.
Wow. Okay,
No, you're
see,
totally-
it's
it's
spelled
one-
out as
Yeah, because you hear it and then
Yeah.
phonetically you're like, what? Yeah, Denahi.
Denahi. Okay. And just be like, Denahi, I'm on my way. But they like
I'm on my way.
they found the journal though. Watch your back.
Interesting.
Kenai.
How come you call it in some of them but not all of them?
Yes.
That was actually good too.
That's really cool. I will then say, what we'll do is we'll kind of
Distinguishing
randomly
answer.
go around as you guys are doing this, because you might not get that first, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's a 7-day
Oh
journey.
yeah.
One of the first things, sitting down there, Franny and Kim, they have just finished up a game of blackjack. These pirates, right? As a lot of pirates just like throwing up their hands in frustration, while just like, the boat always wins, like raking in a bunch of galleys. As he's kind of like shoving them in a pack. Kim, you see one pirate is kind of like talking to, as you struck up one of those, like, how do you lie so well? Because you want to know. Right. Lying for pirates, it's a lot of just don't saying what you're meaning.
explain.
For example, if I were to say, I'm not gonna rob ya and stab ya, No, I'm saying I'm not gonna do it. That's a lie. I'm gonna stab them and take their gold. But now they're thinking might be able to steal my gold. What you want to do is just don't say anything. Stab them and take their gold.
Oh, I love this.
You're lying by not lying. They call it omission o' truth on the mainland.
Oh my god.
Franny's really enjoying this conversation she's overhearing.
You see another pirate just... Right, you also want to be aware, when you're going around lying, you never want to tell the same lie twice in the same city. Because that's where you get two different men knocking on your door saying they love you, when really, you just want to have fun at port.
I know which way you swing.
Alright, there's beautiful men and women at all the ports, and so you just gotta take your fancy when you're a
My
pirate.
frogs are like literally laughing
But again,
right now.
you
and I'm
never
trying to
want
shush
to
them.
lie.
It's
Again,
great.
twice? No. Because if you're telling multiple lies, people will start finding the threads in them. And that's the thing. You never want people to pull threads. Pull too many threads, your pants fall off.
Sounds like that's what she would like. Okay.
Please document the metaphorical pants.
Thank you, Antigone.
So yeah,
Like
some of
cringing
the...
at the awkwardness of this conversation.
Franny, you're having a lot of fun just in that, like, oh, this is pirate life. And we see David and Kim fighting with the pirates. It's fun. You see Captain Barbosa is going to personally help fight a little bit.
Oh gosh. Who's
As-
whipping whose butt?
Here's what's about to happen.
We're about to roll.
Oh no.
As you're fighting some of the pirates, it's that you're noticing, like, you can kind of stand out. I mean, pirates aren't, like, huge into, like, one-on-one dueling.
Mm-hmm.
It's a group thing, right? You do the cannons, you jump on and off. So after you've beaten enough, eventually you hear that dum, 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 down the stairs, just... I see we're having a bit of a game day! And immediately roll initiative as a sword's coming at your face.
Oh, baby.
That is 13 for initiative.
He rolled a 17. He's going first. As
Yep.
ting, you and me just never let your opponent know your next move. Hua, ting, ting, ting. We're going to roll just a post athletics real quick. Just in that pure, just practical fight and duel that will happen.
18.
18 versus a 4. You have that immediate strength up there. Ting, 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 ting. Oi, you're quite strong there, me boy.
It's from my dad.
Ting, ting, ting. But did he teach you how to lie? I need you to make me an insight check real quick.
That's not good. 4.
Yes!
You watch as one hand leaves his sword, goes in to punch you. How would you stop that?
I'd say, while still like parrying, just turn sideways.
Turn sideways. As you do so, you realize he was standing on his peg leg. Boom! Immediate swap like you are. Boom! Hit the ground hard. Swords at your face.
Awkward.
Don't look like your dad taught you how to fight then, truly. But immediately sword's gone, giving you that hand to pull you back up. As teach you a little about deception in fighting, not letting your opponent know your next move. And so that might be possible if you're ever like, hey, can I try to make my opponents not know my next move? It's a true practical nature, right?
That's awesome.
Look at the fist, don't notice the leg. It's a real concept in fighting of feinting attacks, right? You won't be able to learn unless you go full fighter style battle master learning the skill.
Well, no, I think there's also a feat that lets you learn.
Oh, there is a
maneuvers.
feat.
There we go.
But as of right now,
Yeah.
it will be possible. If you're
Yeah.
like, hey, I might want... And for like big attacks, where like, ooh, before I go for my attack, could I try to make a deception check? I will start allowing that, because it can be that like, ooh, I don't want them to know I'm about to shoot a cannon. I want them to think I'm slicing at them with my sword, right? Like things like that.
Yeah. Either that or it's like, look at the sword, don't notice the tail.
It's very true.
Wait, you have a tail.
In gargoyle form.
As in gargoyle form during nighttime.
Also big old wings. So
Yeah.
Just like,
Forgot about that too.
just like
Ceres.
blow them over with wind pressure.
Yeah.
Because for the last these three, these are going to be dreams
Ooh.
as we travel. Ceres,
This is going to be interesting.
what are you going to do before you go to bed? What would be like your nightly routine?
This is going to be so weird, but I'm going to take the talisman that I have, my spellcasting focus. I'm going to put it very safely, comfortably in one corner of the pillow and like tuck the blankets around it, and that's probably about it.
Probably about it. As
Yep.
you settle in for the night, before you go to bed, you see a long, blonde-haired man walking past your hammock. What would you do?
Gonna sit up, try and take a look at his face. If he looks familiar, is it insight or is it something else?
Perception. Just like,
This
dude.
suck at perception. Oh, I don't. Never mind.
Oh gosh.
I kind of do today. 15.
15. Here's what I will say. You look around, immediately this pirate turns, missing a lot of teeth and has an eye patch, and just, what?
Do you like being in the woods?
No. More like the sea.
Dang it. Okay. Tell me if you ever see someone who really likes to be in the woods, but has beautiful gold hair and has beautiful blue eyes, and yeah, okay.
You and every woman. He kind of limps off sadly. Unfortunately, not who you're looking for. But as you do so, feeling that sleep, you lay back down, and you hear a voice. This voice is ethereal. It's hard to decipher, but you know this must be your patron.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you so much. I've been learning so much, and this place is great in some ways, but I'm really not having any luck, and thank you for your
Never had a
help.
great affinity for pirates, but they'll help you.
Okay. I don't like boats. But so, by the way, thank you for the help. I would appreciate more help.
Yes.
What do I need to do?
Well, it did
Sorry.
take a bit of my power to give you that. Here's what I'll say. Can you just be on the lookout for something that can give me that power back? Whether it's just an item or a person.
I'm calling it out for patron. Is that dark bubbly that we accidentally created by changing a couple even berries?
Magical
Yeah, something magical.
that I can give to you?
Yes. Something that'll just help my kingdom.
Okay.
Give me an insight check real quick.
Okay.
Unless it just is
Woo! 22.
22.
Thanks.
Something's not off, but you're like, something that it's very vague. I will say on 22, you realize it may be vague on purpose. This could mean just like, oh, can you get me a magical object? Or sacrifice a magical creature and get that magic, right? Like, it could, there's a range. But, whatever works. And you kind of get that impression as your patron goes, whatever works.
How do I give it to you?
Oh, you'll know in the moment.
Okay, cool. Do you have any advice on how to do
Flashbacks
what
to
I
the
want to
Black
do?
Cauldron thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never really dealt with people like you before.
Fine. Okay, that's fine. Well, thank you for the help, and I will give you some magic later.
Thank you. Remember, my attendance is everywhere, and my kingdom is grand.
Okay.
You feel that go away as walking by, a pirate has shaken you awake. Excuse me, miss, you're glowing? Looking back, you've stopped glowing now. As just, right, we'll try and get some sleep though. It'd be very helpful if you stop glowing.
Could you turn
I
off the night
use my
light?
beast form so that I'm all furry. Does this help?
Well, says the glow, it's not going to help with my night terrors, but, thank you.
Sweet dreams. I just roll over and go back to
I'm
sleep.
taking another day of therapy. You roll over and head to bed. As
That wasn't very
Uh,
helpful.
That was
Uh,
entertaining.
Kenai,
Yeah.
Do you know who your patron is?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
before the night
Just wanted
ends,
to make sure
you
that,
knock
like,
on the
you
door
were in
of
the
Captain
know.
Barbossa's
And if you
quarters
weren't, this is
and hear that entree.
No, I know who it is, and this
I
is going to be
entree.
awesome.
Walking in, you see a grand map of Dizania in front of this pirate captain, where there's a lot of flags, yarn dividing areas of the ocean, and what looks to be like little magical ships hovering in front of this wall map. As you see a mentor just, Master Orc, please enter. Can I get you anything? You see gestures. There's like a slight fruit spread, like apples, oranges, stuff on the side. Just,
Don't forget those apples.
Yes, please.
throws you an apple. As you look, this apple has a lot of tiny monkey bites in it already.
Delicious, thank you. I'll save it for my midnight snack.
So gross.
As realizing sitting in the pile of apples is Jack the monkey, just going, just kind of like starting to chew through apples.
That's disgusting.
You see Captain Barbossa though, just, what can I do you for? We're not doing port for another 2 days.
Yes, I was wondering if you would be able to send a message for him.
That explains a lot about
Yes, I have a bit of you see, he doesn't say it, but his eyes glance to his sword. He just, magical items that, if it might pique your fancy, what kind of message are we sending?
One to my brother, actually. Not
Dangerous business sending to family, but I'll do it.
thanks. I'll write out the message for him.
You write out that message discussed. You see, he has you hold the pommel of this like ruby encrusted sword, and you watch as, raising the sword, you notice the sails kind of fill a little more with air, and the deck of the wood seems to just like shift slightly. Boom! You feel the message go off. It says, there you are. Your message should be sent, and if the sendee wants anything, you'll be the one receiving it.
Okay.
Helps me not get so much in my brain when my crew wants to send stuff to their family.
That makes sense. That's one heck of a sword you've got there.
Aye,
I suppose,
it's a wonderful sword. Quite a tale to tell.
yeah, you wouldn't be, trying to sell it for maybe 20 gold. I just...
I killed you before.
Okay, well then I'll, rescind my offer.
That's a smart lad. No, bit of free advice. If you want something, you got to take it for yourself.
I'll keep that in mind.
You see,
I know, right?
he sheaths his sword, goes back, just, well, have a wonderful night, Master Orc. Turns back, you watch as hand on the pommel of the sword every so often is like rubbing the ruby, and you're watching the ships move on this map. As just kind of ushering you out, that night you'll receive a message back.
Okay.
The message you receive what are you doing? Go home. This isn't your fight. I can't protect you two.
Oh.
If you don't go home, that's your choice. But be on the lookout. She might be around.
Okay.
Who's she?
All I know, love you. Denami.
Okay.
You get that message, and it's what wakes you up from the dream, because you're having that dream. You see Denahi, and it's your eyes open, hearing the message echoing in your mind. That very magically, you almost seem to notice as the magic occurs, that smell of pine and mountain of home accompanies it. But then, as soon as the message fades, the salty brine, creaking wood
Yeah.
comes back, and you're in the darkness.
I'm not gonna go home, so.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm going back.
Sorry, listen, my brother said no.
He said it's too dangerous.
Yeah. Gotta go back home.
As feeling that message kind of now slowly just revolving in your mind, all of you feel the rock of the waves, the slow crashing of water, the smell of salt and air give way to the caw of seagulls. Each of you waking up. Antigone, having spent quite the week now with a pack full, this almost binder full of papers and bottles.
Ooh, yeah. Speaking of the bottles,
Yes.
one of these I might not hang on to. I think I'm going to hand everybody a false life potion.
Oh.
So, like,
nice.
it's just temporary hit points, but it's like if you ever think you're about to go down and fight, just kind of...
Do we have more potions from last time, or no?
Nope.
No. Okay.
This is, yes, part of the new witch stuff,
Rather
guys.
than
Putting her
hanging on them
spells.
myself, I'm just going to hand one to everybody.
Putting her
so.
spells
I
into
almost
potion
wrote
bottles.
on your sheet,
Everyone
Mason.
has
I
a
apologize.
false life potion bottle. And you're still keeping your other cantrips.
Everything
and-
else I've got, and I've got one false life potion for myself just
Mhm.
in case, but distribute the other 5.
Excellent.
Very much appreciated.
Oh, no, sorry, they're runes, not potions, apparently. I used potion bottles.
Yes,
for
yes,
other
yes.
things,
These,
so.
I was going to say, because I think, because you only have so many vials. So yes,
Yeah.
they're technically not potions. These are pieces of paper with runes. You can put them anywhere you want,
Alright.
but it takes the action as if you guys were casting them to just burn the paper, use it up,
So-
crush it in your hand, but it will be the same as if she cast the
Would
false
eating
light
it
on you.
count?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It just takes an action, right? You're just having to
It's
use
just
your
a
action
question.
to have your false life on you. But it's helpful because it's something just prep cast.
That is awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
As you all
We're
approach,
at low levels.
the sky is wonderful and bright. All of you see
Sorry, I'm so
seagulls
happy.
cawing in the air, the sweet wind.
This is where Finding Nemo happened.
Corona
Not
lies
Australia.
in the distance. Beautiful island kingdom. You see towards the eastern edge a row of ports, bustling ships in and out at every which way. The towering spires of the castle, and after so many years, a very packed island. You can't see any land. It is buildings and trees and fortresses, like all these things that have sprung up on this island over the years. What you notice is immediately the ship sails are all a beautiful white. Every pirate is wearing what looks to be, you could assume, a Coronan uniform. And Captain Barbosa has a neatly stylized beard, Rear Admiral's hat, and even Jack the Monkey has a tiny little vest on of Corona. As you see approaching, just, right, we're here to offload our cargo as being royals of the Coronan Navy. As you sail into port, you see that a small little, what we would think of like as just like a rowboat, but speeds along, you could guess by magic, up towards the Queen Anne's Revenge. And coming aboard, a man, vest, clipboard, just, right, purpose, manifest, ship's name, captain, just, no need, lad. Rear Admiral Hector of the Coronan Navy, here under Queen Rapunzel's admonition. And you see he slips out a piece of paper that looks to have a royal seal on it.
It might have.
And you see that this man just kind of takes it, just, everything's in order, welcome to port, this is Captain Hector. Just kind of nods at everyone, kind of like, doesn't like look too closely because most of you
I'm,
are
like, standing in the back of the group.
most of you are just, you could be passengers because you see all the crew. Whistle while you work, do pass me that line, good friend. Like all the crew is just the like, what you would think of as like a Disneyland employee level of just like gratitude and happiness right now. They're just bringing it in as the Queen Anne's Revenge pulls into port. The gangplank boom hits the deck, and
not very
Hector
right now.
Barbosa turns to you all just. This was quite a wonderful voyage. If you ever be needing me for any reason, don't hesitate to look out to the sea and ask.
Right, thanks, Captain. Just, like, books
Thank
it
you.
down the book.
Booking it down the gangplank. You see Jack the Awakened. Bye! Bye!
Bye, Jack.
Bye!
Bye.
Bye.
Farewell.
Um,
should never learn how to talk ever again.
all of you realize you are all missing 4 gold pieces.
That's fair.
As you're over the course of the day, Jack the Monkey was quite adventurous. And
That's fair.
Picture marks very carefully. He's got a great stealth.
It's okay.
like,
I don't
it's
think I
wild.
really care.
That's stupid.
I was gonna say we all just did get 40, so
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
terrible, but yeah,
Yeah.
Jack the Monkey has been having fun. You are all on the island of Corona.
Alright, well, Antigone, you're the one who has connections here.
Yeah. So, can I just take us the least conspicuous way to get there?
What do you think is the least conspicuous?
Well, because I'm going specifically to like the library that's in the castle, right?
In the castle.
So I want to just like take us up and like maybe find like a side entrance to like try and avoid all the like official great halls and stuff.
I will say you would know a side entrance or two.
Yeah.
That's not a problem. You're gonna give me a stealth.
Oh, I'm so bad at stuff.
Are we
I
all
will tell
giving
you
this
right
stuff?
now.
Yeah, group
This
stealth
is
check.
just Antigone.
Ooh.
She's
Antigone,
going for it. Don't
is
notice
a
me. Don't notice me.
DC 19 stealth.
Can I
check.
give her the help
Can we
action?
Like,
Sure, yeah,
By,
help.
like surrounding her or
Are
something.
you
Yes,
proficient?
like, it's that,
Yeah,
like,
you're a
if-
rogue.
Or
You're
I could
proficient
cast the
yourself.
thing that gives her a +10.
No,
But I probably wouldn't say that I'm trying to be stealthy.
Right.
it's that natural. Like
Oh.
all of you could help if it's
Can-
that like you don't want to be seen. That's natural.
Can
But
Fluffy give me the help action?
you're familiar, can? Yeah, no, that's
There we
what.
go.
Oh no, you've already. Oh yes, Fluffy will give you the help action. You haven't rolled help yet. Sorry, my bad.
That was worse.
Oh god.
So my highest roll was a 6.
Oh!
I rolled a natural 5 and then a natural 2.
Megan.
As you all
That
approach,
sucks.
you're having to wonder because you're on like a main road and suddenly Antigone veers like hard right into the alleyways. Going through these alleyways every so often, you are seeing like people are baking, crafting. It's that music and sound. Corona's export is everything, right? Like Corona has always attracted like the best and the brightest. So like scholars, musicians, artisans, poets, bakers, toy makers, right? Everyone who thinks they're the best in the world comes here because they want to contribute to the best city of the world is the idea. But
I'm so
making your
happy.
way through, Antigone keeps very so often pointedly not going main routes.
Are you forgetting where we're going?
No, I just don't like people. Then the
Oh.
other roads are too crowded.
I thought they were really
As
friendly.
you come up
Okay.
to a portion of wall that you know is a bit of a sewer entrance, but it actually leads back up into some of the castle courts. Antigone, standing in front of the entrance with a pallet of bricks and some scrapes, sealing up the entrance, is
Oh!
Pete. And you see
Oh
Pete,
no.
Antigone! Hey!
Hi, Pete.
How's it going?
He's,
Good.
there's
Is this
two guards.
entrance
One
no
with a
longer a
mustache
thing?
and one with
Oh, well,
He's
your
one
mom
without.
told me to seal it
Yeah,
up
it's the
because
one
she's
with the
tired of you
mustache.
sneaking out, and so. Come on, meet your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are my friends.
Oh, hey guys, my name's Pete.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
You see this kind of middle-aged man. He's got a guardian form, bow strapped across his back, just kind of sitting there.
Pete, like the bad guy.
No.
Pete is
Stan
in
and Pete are the
Stan
two
and Pete,
guards.
the two guards.
The one with the mustache and the one without. The one
As-
without is
Yep.
Oh.
Already walking on.
Are-
Antigone, big old guy, big
Yes.
bushy mustache, big old
Sam.
hug. Just, how's it going? Oh,
It's good. So
sorry.
When did you talk to my mom?
Oh, this was a part of our list of things to do. We've just been kind of busy. ECP just, honestly, you'd think it'd be easier to train a bunch of archers, but it's not.
Yeah, I bet that's hard. Well, hey, here's a question. Since it doesn't look like you've finished closing it off yet, and I don't really want to take my friends all the way around since we're here, do you mind if we just kind of slip through and then you can kind of finish blocking it off?
Persuasion check for me.
Okay. That is going to be a 12 unless somebody wants to help me.
Boom. I have
Good help
expertise.
action, yeah, expertise, because you have to have that
Nope, it's worse.
form of proficiency.
Everyone, I have a minus
I
1
will you
in
know.
persuasion.
I rolled for Stan. His DC's only 6. He rolled really low.
Oh, so I rolled a 12.
But let's see what Pete
Oh, for
thinks.
Pete.
I love it.
What?
Pete's. What? No, you're home. Like, I mean, we gotta give you your entrance.
Oh, no,
accident.
Please don't.
Come on, you see Stan. Oh, you know you love it. Immediately they're picking it and falling.
Yes.
All of you watch Antigone's being led out of this alleyway. Full bricks and everything abandoned. Like
As they do that, I'm
okay.
gonna sneak in.
you're just gonna sneak in.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
there still an opening? I'm
Yeah, still the
I'm
they
going
never
to follow
finished 'cause
Antigone.
Who
Yeah,
wants
let's
to
get
follow
the-
Antigone?
I'll
Who
follow
wants to
Antigone.
Let's
take
get the
the
two
rest?
stealthiest to sneak in.
You two want to sneak
I'll
in?
follow Antigone.
Go
Yeah.
for it. If
I
everyone
wanna see
else
the fanfare.
wants to
We
go,
can all
Sneak in.
you
So I
sneak
think
in. Okay,
us two are
you
following
three.
you.
That split of three
Is
sneaking
this
in.
okay?
Go
Do you
ahead
need
then.
us to,
We'll do a group spell check with
never
you
mind.
three.
Oh, okay.
Her face is like
And
so red, but she is kind of
You
like,
got
like oh
stand
no.
they're
I'm
not
so
like
bad at this.
grabbing.
I'm
It's
so
just that like
excited.
they're either side of you escorting you towards.
I
the
am
gate.
so excited for this.
Oh no.
I hope that Herc is home and he's like, oh, my baby.
No, they're not because I have a 10-day timer.
10-day timer.
Yeah, but what if they just returned home?
Uh,
Because why not?
No, they're not.
Special ops crew. What was your stealth rolls all around?
17.
17? 10.
21.
10. 10 being the lowest isn't terrible. We'll get to that in a second. So you immediately go through, and yes, like, from what you gauge is that, like, oh, sewer. Hey, there's a door here, right? And, like, immediately once you're far enough in, you find this door, start working your way up. The three on the outside
This is gonna be great.
led to the front. You see Stan calls out, Antigone is returned! And you see...
Oh, this is great.
Presenting Antigone, daughter of hero demigod Hercules,
no,
and Meg, Archmage of Corona.
Oh,
Let it be known that she has returned home. As you see some guards slightly clapping and waving just at you.
Thanks, guys.
you're
Walking
famous here.
Yeah.
Do not know.
after a moment,
No way.
coming out of the castle, full
I don't know, I got that
high
voice.
guard
So I'm
uniform,
gonna- if not,
crown
I'll
on
just-
head, goatee, is Uncle Flynn.
Oh.
Uncle Eugene.
You see,
Yes.
Antigone, there's my favorite niece that I'm not allowed to hurt. Come on in. He gives you a big old hug, though. You see, just, well, welcome. Who are your friends?
This is Saris, and this is Franny, Francesca. The others, I think, slipped in. Apparently, Mom's blocking off all the entrances, so you need to show me some more secret ways in.
Oh, don't worry. Just use a rope. I mean, or whatever could prevent rogues from sneaking into our castle. Hi. You see, he
I
turns
love
to you.
this so much.
King Eugene Fitzherbert, King Regent of Corona. It's a pleasure to meet you both.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
You see, just please come in. I think it's almost we're getting close to lunch. You hungry?
Yeah, that would be awesome. I kind of just brought them by to see the library, but if everybody knows we're here now, we may as well say hi.
You're totally fine. As you three walking in, up these stairs, dark, kind of like little bit of that like natural light ever so often of a window, maybe to the outside. But as you reach the top, slowly creaking the door open, you see a large hand suddenly blocks your way. As you hear, well, who do we have sneaking in here? As you see a large half-orc, beautiful ebony skin, standing in simple just vest and everything, but you see has like a tiny little badge on his chest. Just,
Oh, that's adorable.
"Ooh, you don't think we're not going to
Lance
think
Strongbow.
to
He's in the series.
not watch the secret entrance we're sealing up today, are we? Yes.
How well known am I around outside of Sumani?
Never know. Corona, it might be far, but it's a
Because
possibility.
I don't know, like, have I visited any of these cities before? That's
I
more what I'm
visiting,
wondering.
yes, but it's
On a field trip?
The name
Yeah.
is the thing, right? It's like you probably visited most. I don't want to say major kingdoms, but anything that's major port, like especially Corona is one of those direct Sumani lines, right?
Okay.
I'd love for you to give me a history check.
It's like a 4 or 5.
You're thinking like, ooh, maybe some like nice fishmongers would know you when you helped out here on a class field trip.
I just want to make sure that like I wasn't missing an opportunity to get an insight when I could. So I appreciate that.
You see though
you
that
let
this
know.
man just, well, criminals of Corona, would you mind following me to our criminal rehabilitation program?
Sir, I'm not a criminal. You might have heard of me. My name is Kim possible?
Oh, hun, that's what they all say. Come along. You see, this
We
dude
know
is
him,
kind of like
take
offering
me.
into the castle, like, but it's that obvious, like he is here and this dude is heavily armed. Just kind of pointing along.
I will say that sounds very much like your own thing, criminal rehabilitation.
Right.
What if we follow him and then just don't make one of the turns that he makes?
You could. You see, he's because right now it's that like, no, come along. I don't want to have to get some of my friends.
Oh.
Yes, he does. Let's do it.
Do what?
You want him to not turn?
Oh.
So you like nudge and then.
Yeah. Actually, we might have been with a group that came in earlier.
That's fair. That's fair. Who you with? Give me
And-
some names.
Antigone?
Oh, you know some good names. All right. Well, let's see what King Eugene says about that. Come on.
Right. And you may also have heard of my dad,
Yeah.
fellow by the name of Goliath.
Here we go. Lance met him. Oh, no way. That's your dad.
Yeah, you'll.
Oh, I haven't seen him in years.
Yeah, you'd see more of a resemblance once the sun goes down.
I was going to say, you're quite fleshy.
Yeah.
Last time I met your dad, he was a solid hunk of onyx.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
that happens.
Well, let's go reaffirm your story. I'd be a bad head of security if I just believed
Oh,
you.
he's there. Sorry.
It's head of security.
I'm just super
It's
fangirling
like that, like,
right
oh,
now.
what's happened, right? He'll lead you again. He's not going for his weapons. It doesn't seem that intimidating. It's just more his presence. This dude, giant half like he and I. You're basically almost a full orc, and even he's bigger than you. It's not like, oh man, this is a bulky dude. Leading you in, the Antigone, Franny, and Ceres, you are walking into the throne room as coming out of a side room, escorted by Lance, is these three. You see Lance just goes, Eugene, we got some criminal rehabilitation to go through.
What did you guys do?
He's good.
He's good. He got a pretty good, technically, two of you failed.
What was the stealth we needed to pass?
It was a DC 20.
Oh.
21. What's it?
21 was the only one. He's good. That's why I was like 2 out of 3 failing. Like if it was only the 10, it would have been fine. He did really well with his check. Walking in the throne room, immediately seeing everything, you see Eugene goes, "Wow, man! You'd think they would stop trying to sneak in here. I'm so sorry,
Oh
guys."
yeah, that's them. That's David and Kim and Ken or Kenai. He goes by Ken
Kenai.
sometimes.
Oh, well then you're all friends. You see Lance goes, "All right, have a fun one."
They're just sneakier than I am.
You see
Obviously
Lance
not.
kind of nods and does that like double back, just kind of like bows out of the room. All 6 of you together with King Eugene. You see
lunch, right?
Eugene just. So, who's hungry for sandwiches?
I'm down.
Leading you in a lovely meal of cut ham, goat cheeses, and mustards, lots of fruits. Senior, but Eugene just. Antigone, man, you just kind of left and no. Honestly, not too much like your mom and dad, but that looks bad on me.
Well, they don't know that that happened, right?
Not yet.
And they're not going.
Hey, where's
to?
the Rapunzel today?
Oh, she had something down in Saporia. They're figuring out the next games coming up in the winter. It's a thing.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So I met some new friends, and we were gonna check out the library. So I'm obviously home
Awesome.
now, and everything's fine, right?
Yeah, of course. And obviously, you're going to the library because something is terrifying, death-defying, or there's an adventure. What is it?
Adventure? It's
Antigone.
the least dangerous one, guys.
I've been doing this for years. You don't sneak out in the middle of the night, come back with 5 people, and you're not on an adventure.
Okay, well, yeah, but
Listen, I'm not going to tell your parents.
well, Captain Phoebus is going to.
Oh,
We ran
the
into him.
narc.
We shipwrecked, and then yeah, right. Of all the people who could have found us,
Do you know him?
Yeah.
Can you convince him otherwise?
Honestly, I've had my
He's not
run-ins
very
with him.
invincible.
He's a nice guy, but
Can
he's
anyone
very
convince
by
him
the
to do what
books.
he doesn't want to do?
He's... There's a reason Sumani's safe. He does a good job, but there's a reason I stopped trying to rob Sumani when I was younger. Oh, you may know me by another name, Flynn Rider. I want everyone to roll me history checks besides Antigone.
I don't think I'd know.
We're not gonna like
try.
tries
roll,
him.
just
Oh
roll.
yeah, but thinks he's so cool.
It's a thing, right? It's a
I got a 4 because I have a
4.
-1 to
No.
history.
yeah. There's no way you get.
Oh,
it.
question.
5, never heard of him.
Have I ever heard of the heroes of Hercules and
Yeah,
Megara?
use your dice.
Is that another history
Roll,
check?
that's part of this history check.
Oh,
It's that like
in which
now that
case,
you
yeah.
eating lunch, listening like
13.
13,
Then yes, a 4.
Wow.
15,
18.
18.
Well, do you have anything plus?
Nope.
Just,
18
wow.
solid.
I
makes
need
sense.
to ask you two to join me in the hallway for a sneaky conversation.
Nice.
One at a time. We'll
Nice.
start, Marissa. There's some sneaky stuff. You've got some higher history. For the rest of you,
Live
Kina,
work?
it's that.
Sorry.
No, who's this?
No,
Oh,
that's Marissa.
Oh,
They're very
I thought it was
Go
Marissa, you
ahead,
and I'm like,
plug
what?
whatever you want on the channel. We just, I'll need to talk to you guys and give you some sneaky information.
Interesting.
Interesting.
One of those two,
Intrigue.
weren't you?
I thought you were.
I thought it was
Oh,
you.
it was me?
What did you
How
roll?
how did you roll?
15, didn't you?
What did you roll?
Oh, you rolled a 13.
Oh, I thought you rolled higher than I did. Here, you get a baby.
What did he do that's actually secret?
Yeah.
Oh, give him to Megan or Lonnie. I'm not taking a baby out there.
Wait, you don't go out there right
He said one at a
Marissa
time.
first.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I got so
I told
excited.
you how well I'm listening today.
I mean, you have a baby.
You had the baby to
Yep.
worry about.
Yeah, that's still never an excuse in our family.
Hi.
Okay, but yeah, that whole
You
sneaky
got
thing did
all
not
this.
last long.
No, okay, but you're really lucky that Rapunzel's not home and instead Eugene is because
He's
he's
very chill.
he's totally fine. Rapunzel's probably a little too terrified that Mega's gonna kill her if
Yeah.
she finds
Well,
out.
honestly, Flynn can hold his own, so he's not terrified of anyone. Except for maybe Rapunzel.
That's fair. But I am so excited. Like, it's so fun to see what's happened in the 25 years.
Oh, this is fun.
It's so fun.
I think very much is
Yeah.
gonna turn into like, okay,
Sorry.
what do we tell them when they show up
Yeah.
complaining about me not being home?
Yeah.
Maybe he can help me come up with a story.
Once they're sealing up all the secret entrances.
It's like,
Oh,
Just
I
for
know,
you.
that's
You
such
should
a Meg
ask.
thing.
Kim to help you because she just learned about lying.
But you don't tell them. what
hey,
you're
hey,
going
so
to.
my parents apparently were part of a prophecy the Oracle said. Maybe I can use that too? No, I was saying that like Megara. Was Hercules part of that actually?
I don't think so.
Like, the whole.
Because August once dropped that, like when we got more Imagineers, August hinted that when we met Mufasa in Hell, that he may have seen all the Imagineers, not just the original group at the
Yeah,
beginning.
so maybe that like peripheral.
Yeah.
I'm
So
a
anyway.
person, right?
He's like, oh,
Okay,
well,
so
who's to
then
say
I
the
see
Oracle
it
doesn't
and
get
I
another
take it.
prophecy, and you know, you're part of it this time.
I can't lie that well.
I
I have a -1 to charisma,
am so sorry.
which I think is hilarious that Meg's child can't lie with crap.
I know, that's what I was
Definitely
thinking.
take
Very
up
much
her
She's not
Yeah,
sneaky.
more
She's not
inside
mean
life.
in any way.
You see the blue lights? Do you see them?
It is really funny
In
how
terms
much
of like
Antigone
class
is, like,
abilities and stuff, she
Hercules.
takes after her mom. In personality, she's just her dad.
Oh yeah,
It's
she's
so
straight
cute
Hercules.
though, because it's like a Hercules doing really kind of scary stuff. Like, I mean, not
Well,
that
because the
Hercules
real one
wasn't
is
scary.
terrifying.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Hi.
say, you were there for Wonderland.
Yeah.
It was scary.
Oh my gosh,
She
that
wasn't
was
even raging that whole
insane.
time at all.
Hercules is
Please line up
boss.
so I can smite you.
It's chilling.
But he was also so nice about bringing death to an entire plane.
He's so soft. His head is so soft.
He's a baby soft.
What?
He's baby soft.
The baby.
Just baby soft.
Here we go, gang. Yeah, just had to talk to some people.
Secrety.
Always
I
secrets, always
know.
stuff.
I want to know.
Secrety.
Hi, buddy.
But for most of you, you see the obvious
Hi.
disappointment in King Eugene's eyes as
Yeah.
Flynn Rider and like
Yeah.
strikes a pose, and you're looking at like
Never heard of you.
this middle-aged dude in a crown. No,
Not ringing any bells.
not really. You see, Antigone, you see the pain. As you've seen this whole interaction before. This is not new.
It's not new.
Poor thing.
It's fine.
She'll look
I
back
now
on
run
the
the
shoulder.
country. That's a step up.
Oh, I forgot to point out something.
So,
What were you gonna point out?
adventure.
So you know how
What's
when
going
you
on?
stream in the I Have a Dream, he's like, on an
Oh,
island that I
well,
own,
Yes.
surrounded
Brother
Rested
said
and
it's a weird
alone.
location
Surrounded by
for
an
this
enormous
treasure,
puzzle.
so we're trying to find it to find him.
Okay.
Stream by Mary
Missing brother.
I
Treasure.
love that.
Trying to find him and treasure?
We'll try to find the treasure to find the brother, because we figured that'll...
Gotcha. Magnet approach.
Yeah.
Find the goods, you find the people. Yep. Use it all the time. You need to go to the library, though? What's in the library?
A clue, I guess. We got, like, a riddle instead of a map, so we're just trying to figure out what's up with that.
A riddle, a map, and a clue. You're in a treasure hunt! You see King Eugene immediately, like, sets down his sandwich, looks up, just, this is big. I want to know.
Sorry,
I didn't
sorry.
even know you were
He's
gonna-
so
It
cute.
was distracting me, too. I'm like, oh, it's adorable. King Eugene has immediately, like, all food down, wiped off, just, this is a treasure hunt?
Okay.
Oh, these are my favorite kind of adventures.
It's not working.
What are you hunting?
We don't know yet. That's why we need the library.
Yeah.
Quick
brother.
deception check.
I thought
Oh, man.
Because you technically know what you are hunting, so that's
Do we?
I thought it, like,
No,
we
take
know
a
that.
Elder Masha,
Oh,
and technically
yo.
Kenai have you enough. That's why it's like, what'd you get?
18.
That's good. He rolled natural 2.
Oh, that's safe.
He just, all right. Well, okay, treasure hunt. Sure, we've got some crazy big records up there. I'll take you there. Just finish up your lunch. We've got servants to clear those away. It's kind of awesome. You see though, as King Eugene stands up, he kind of gestures to you all as he's going to personally help take you up to the archives.
Well, that's lucky. We might
Leading your
get
way through the castle, Antigone. Anything you want to do on the way?
So, you know how you can help. What do I tell Mom and Dad when, you know, they find out from Phoebus and probably either show up?
Do what I do. Choose a god, pray, see if it works out.
I might
I
recommend.
mean, you could always tell them now that you're on an
I would
adventure.
tell
Oh, no,
them-
no.
what exactly is Uncle
I mean-
Phoebus gonna tell them?
They might not be as mad if they hear it from you versus
Yeah.
Phoebus.
My mom who's walling up the side entrances so I can't sneak out of the castle.
You're
Isn't
not
gonna
wrong.
use
Could
that?
you tell them the day before Phoebus tells them? Be
Uh,
like, hey, some friends invited me on an adventure, so I'm gonna go.
no, it's fine.
Okay.
I don't know.
Hmm.
The less they know, the better.
Yeah.
Unless they don't get Phoebus's message.
Oh,
Is there a way to do
Is
that?
that fine?
I mean, you see, Eugene has stopped on the stairs as he realized that was more like one of those you don't say every thought out loud
very
moments. And just,
Hagrid moment. I should not have said that.
Should not have said that.
said that.
but you see, Eugene goes, no, it's just. Sending is such a flimsy spell.
That's true. Isn't it like... Because if they're not on this plane, isn't there like a chance they won't get it?
Pretty much.
Is there a way to mess with those odds? A purely academic question for, you know, my magic studies, right?
Here's gonna be a box of doom in front of the
Not
board.
even trying to be convincing, but just to not like...
Because no,
Like,
this
uh-huh.
is a bit of convincing. It's a persuasion check.
Yeah.
I'm
but I
doing
mean,
Buck's
like,
Doom.
not trying to deception, but trying to be that hint,
Yeah.
hint, wink, wink.
It's perception. It's why what's about to happen
Oh,
You're
this is gonna be so
trying-
fun.
to
Trying to
full
persuade him.
Uh-huh.
You are the cutest.
Flynn Rider
Of all
knows
the
ways to make
cute.
messages
You're
stop.
the cutest of all the cute.
You're gonna roll a persuasion
Look
the
at the
box of
cutest
doom
of all the
against
cute.
his
Yeah.
insight,
Can
which is
I
good.
have help from
Adorable.
Fluffy?
Is it?
Fluffy will give you your help.
No.
That's
Cute.
really good.
And then some
Flynn
days,
Rider
like,
adds
Yes.
he
I'm
adds
sure
8
that's
to his
true.
insight. That was a 23.
Oh, I can't do it.
You can at 20
I
because you
can at
got
20.
you get to roll twice.
Okay.
You could persuade him to do so.
Okay.
Oh my
Here's
god.
what we're gonna say.
Do any of us have inspiration right now?
She's already using Fluffy the goat.
Oh,
Here we
Do
go.
they have anything that adds to rolls, like guidance?
I don't.
Wait,
Not
do you
yet.
have bardic
Bardic.
inspiration yet?
You want to give a
Can I have
bar?
a bardic?
Yep.
Okay.
Here we go. Add a
Um,
d6. Let's roll a d6
Looks
first.
like I
There's
just
only
got
a
here.
D4,
Sure.
isn't it?
No, d6s.
But
Bards
yeah,
are a
D6.
d6 at levels 1 and 2.
D6.
At level 1?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, at level 2, yeah.
Level 2, then what does it go up to?
You're gonna add 2. What's your persuasion?
-1.
So, you have a flat +1. 19 or 20, you'll hit it.
Okay.
That's not bad. You have have 1/10 chance.
No.
So 9 and 11.
So the
Antigone, you try to persuade Uncle Eugene, and you see he stops and goes, wait.
Responsible adult.
Mid-responsible, just... Rapunzel would in fact kill me if I stopped something to your parents. Listen, you're a persuasive gal. Honestly, appeal to your dad, don't look your mom in the eyes, and you're fine.
That's just like normal.
August, I have
Yeah.
a question.
Yes.
Is there any point in the sending or the receiving of that message that requires a roll?
No.
So what the
Oh,
roll
you wanted
requires,
to.
yes, is technically there's a D20 roll where if they're not on the same plane, it might fail. And that's kind of along the lines of what Flint or Eugene was.
Disadvantage it using
Hey,
lucky.
Kim. Kim. Could your guy Wade maybe hack into the ley lines to intercept the message?
What?
Wait till Flynn is gone to say that.
Well, 'cause I was gonna ask if I
while
could like
they're
roll an
talking-
Arcana check on the like idea of it of like, okay, he didn't
Oh, I
tell
was
me
gonna
how
look
many
in
killed
the-
me as possible.
I was gonna look at the library too.
Also,
Just
well,
search.
you guys
Yeah.
are already picking up.
Hermione does.
I'm never going to tell you what Eugene can do. His is foolproof. That's why as a box game, what he could do would stop a message. This has a
Interesting.
chance. And this is like that natural, like, whisper to each other. After 10 days, using a luck point that day to give a disadvantage. Maybe contacting Wade, seeing if he can do something with the ley lines. Right? Again, if you can stop a magical flow, that might help. That would probably stop a message. Because again, keep in mind, you're not just trying to stop a message, you're trying to make sure the message can go through but doesn't. Because what's going to stop Phoebus from just resending until it works, or trying multiple times, right? These are good options, though. So I will say you guys have that natural, like, ideas of, hey, this could help if we're trying to stop people
Can
from
Franny
communicating.
look in the library for this?
Yeah, because that's what I will say. As you're getting up, finishing the flight of stairs, opening up a grand double doors, books and scrolls and shelves, that lovely dusty smell of the library fills your nostrils as you are in the Royal Coronan Archives. This is where we can do a group history check.
Oh crap.
As you see, Eugene just goes, books. Some of the best places to fall asleep. Well, what are we looking for?
I got it too. I have no idea.
I got a 16.
Can Fluffy help me? I rolled a nat 1.
Sure.
How important is this?
On a natural 2, that's a 6.
Pretty important.
6:15.
I'm gonna use my inspiration point.
Okay.
I got 16.
16. So 16 is currently like one of the higher.
Yeah.
That's an 18.
Do you have a... I'm talking to Eugene. Do you have a book of all the people who live in Corona?
Oh, like, a census?
Sure. Does it have pictures of them?
Oh, no. Like, we would spend so much money on an artist bill. 18. And Kenai, what did you get for history?
I got a 13.
13. Okay. Kim, you got one of the higher rolls. An 18 and 16. As you're looking through, it's that natural, you never know where to begin. And so what I'd like from you two, this is where we're going to do it by what we would call search engine rules. What would be the key words that you two want to be looking for?
Okay, I have to be reminded what exactly we're looking for because you know how many days.
Oh no,
I
I'm
know,
trying
in
to
real
remember
life.
as well.
in real life, like I have to
I will read,
I
if
may
it
have been
helps.
grateful that
You
I
know,
rolled a
the
2 on
journal
history.
contained the words, I pass the baton to you.
Okay.
Baton, capitalized. And the riddle you deciphered reads, to build, to break, first masons forsake, period. Hide under, comma, within, comma, till gem brings all in. Light then the trace, wealth's hidden space.
So I would definitely be looking for like gem, masons. How many keywords can I put in here? Does it?
Sorry, he poked his own eyeball twice with the pinky and then... yes,
I'm pulling up
then got
the,
in his mouth finally.
the actual things. I know it's in here somewhere.
You're the cutest.
No, that's fine. I'm making sure.
Anderson loves you.
Yes, in the group chat there is that full message. Just making sure. I couldn't remember if it was sent at one point.
Yeah, it was. Thank you so much. for
Okay,
that.
so I'm gonna look up like Mason treasure, and then I'm going to look up gem. Does that sound like?
Mason
Yeah.
treasure gem on an 18.
Yeah.
David, what would be your keywords or like?
I'm also going to look up Mason, Avalon, and Baton.
That was just about Avalon.
Well, because that's stuff that Dave.
Yeah,
and Rose-
you
That's
specifically are
that's
like
a
Avalon?
again. All of you have some of
Yeah,
those
that
like
makes sense.
personal like I know that this could be important, and that's what will give different things.
Oh, can I
Uh-huh.
also put? Oh, what's the name of the city that was drowned that Wade gave me?
You're not sure. He wasn't even sure. It's one of those like it's an old. Because again, to give you a bit of the
Did he say it? He didn't say it was a city. He just said it was-
yes. Because yeah, to give you that
I'll do the
timeline.
stitches.
Right
Oh
now,
my
it is the
goodness,
year
he's so cute.
9286.
I know.
This
You're just
happened
too cute, Dan.
way back in
got a bicycle
9170.
Are you
So this
gonna
is like
pedal the
110
bicycle?
years ago, and it's one of those. It happened in this geographical location. Wade couldn't even find like a name of the place because it was one of those like. Since it's now underwater, it's one of
Maybe
those
digging you
lost to
a balance
time.
bike?
Like, oh, you would have had to have lived there to
You're gonna
know.
have to pedal
And
it.
so there's it's. I would say
And then
if
you
you
learn
want to
balance,
focus
and
your
you're
stuff
just
on
to
that,
zoom on
you would
the
have to
other
do that instead of like
No
Mason,
treadmill
treasure,
either.
and gem, right? You could
Okay.
do those kind of three of like let's look through these books, or you could say let's look at Baton. It's called the War of Desolation. That time period, right? Those would be two separate things. So you'd have to
Okay.
choose.
So I'm going to do the first one because would you have
Okay.
told me you're looking for the baton?
Probably.
So then I'll know he's looking for that.
If you're doing more like the Baton Avalon, here's what I
Take
will
A's and
give
B's
you.
first.
A's and B's. No, it's smart, right? It's that natural like when you're researching in the library. The rest of you do find stuff. Before we get to that, like Kenai and Antigone,
Besides
you're
the hair.
finding a
No,
lot
then
about.
besides that.
In Corona, there were Masons in the past. In the decades and millennia of like the 7000s and 6000s, when Corona was still like first forming before like the Pact of Fantalda, right? These Seven Kingdoms Pact. Masons were all around, right? Like there's documents of like letters to other kings and queens about, hey, I heard you have a Freemason advisor. Can they be sent with their guild to come build for me?
Yeah.
What I would ask too is, Saris and Francesca,
Yes. So
you guys
loud.
are learning about like
You are so loud.
in some of
Going
these
to
books, the Freemasons were builders. Like it's why like almost all major capitals have Freemason architecture in them, right? It's some of those like, and you're finding like those way dated back like around like some of the first wish wars, like the second and third wish wars back in like 2008, 58, right?
Can I actually ask Eugene another question?
In a moment. This
okay,
is some of
cool.
this first
Yeah, that's totally fine. It's
research.
like he's clearly
David,
an important person here. He might know important
You
things.
are looking up stuff about Baton and Avalon, some of these big keywords.
I'm in love with this chunky
Long
nails.
ago,
I'm in love with. Oh.
back in about,
Baby rolls are the cutest. And to be
making
fair,
sure I
they're
look at
really
my timeline.
chunky. Because he says I haven't chunky.
The
but
year,
they're
because
so
it sticks out to you,
squishy.
8258.
Okay.
You find a letter of help.
Oh.
A letter of help is basically a plea. Like this was from the kingdom of what you're looking at. The Men of the Highlands is what they are called. The Men of the Highlands sent out a plea to multiple kingdoms to protect against invasion.
Oh.
In this letter, you find the Men of the Highlands begged Corona for help because they were being invaded, and what you see is our magical architecture and gargoyles are not enough. We are falling. And you realize you're looking at a letter from that first fall of Scotland. You know that history personally from your father. Because this
About
is
that
a
time?
letter sent, again, from the Men of the Highlands to Corona.
Yep.
You realize what is written under it is an archived history stating
I just realized.
From
what it was
Corona,
for. Thank you,
it
Mama.
was never sent off. This is just like a received this note. This was the day and the age and the time. We will send nothing at this time. If the men of the Highlands want to guard their secrets of Avalon, then those secrets can die with them. Is what you find. It's one of those, and it's why you have to stop and go, I know that time. And so what you're realizing is some of those men of the Highlands knew about Avalon too. And apparently were not sharing the secrets.
So Corona left him on red.
Kelowna, yeah, it was that, fine, if you want our help now after not helping us or giving us. Kim Possible.
Guys, we're going to Scotland.
You're going to Scotland. Kim Possible. You are looking up Freemasons and Gem. What you find...
Something Freemason treasure?
Freemason treasure.
You look baby for 1 second.
Is
Then I'll open this
this
up
is
for
something very important. Just making sure I give you the right year. And again, I'm putting most of these years in the timeline on the OneNote that we all share. So like, if you ever want to go, wait, what was that time again? Like, you'll have access.
She's gonna do a little triangle.
Yeah. Almost what you're realizing.
That's gonna make you so happy.
Long ago,
Okay, hold on for 1 sec.
the kingdom of Seporia wrote to Corona. Now, what you're realizing, the kingdom of Seporia didn't arrive for a while. Fantalda was formed mostly in part due to the arrival of the Tieflings. Emerging from the layers of Tartarus in 7022, the arrival of the Tiefling as a race was major for the world because it caused a lot of wars and contention. It was that immediate, devils are invading us, we must fight back. And a lot of churches, a lot of major gods, even like of the cults at the time, sects and religions, said these should be wiped out. They, like, we need to go to war. Corona was one of the few kingdoms, along with Fantalda, that said we're not going to kill them.
Oh, good.
They said these are people, right? Like, they may have horns and tails and be from Tartarus. They're not demons. They're not making deals with us. They're not trying to overthrow us. They're people that have moved here, like immigrants.
Only Corona would do that.
What you find is the Queen of Corona at the time, writing to the Tiefling nation, before it was really known as Seporia, is a letter documenting their gift to them of land, of livestock and grain, and you find, we are sending you our Freemason.
He does. He just wants to grab it and pushes it.
Our Freemason, and the words you read, this dwarf is one of the best workers, let alone being a Freemason. And that's where it stops your eye of like, whoa, that's like a specific name, or a specific thing.
Is he trying to eat?
Just my arm.
What you read in this letter,
Wrong spot,
the Freemason expressed personal interest and is coming to meet with you. We would love to have guidance and direction in the formation of your kingdom, basically.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
You're good.
It sounds like he's tickling you.
Um,
That's all I can hear.
I'm sorry. He's
Uh,
just smiling at me. It's too cute.
Kim Possible, from this, you find
Oh, you're
many years later. Again, 500 years later was the Pact of the Seven Kings, right? Seporia was made, and immediately it's a lot of history of, and then we hate Seporia because we had a book, the Book of Love, and they took it, and then we took it. It was a whole brouhaha for a long
They
time.
were jerks for a long time after, just saying.
You don't find anything until, making sure I tell you again, 9121. This is a year after the War of Desolation began, right? What you're finding is nothing until suddenly the world is at war. And this isn't over wishes. This is, everyone was really, it's why it was called the War of Desolation, because this was, are we all going to wipe ourselves out?
Is the War of Desolation the same one where we talked about that Wade let me know about the baton thing?
Yes,
Okay.
same war. The War of Desolation, what you're finding of this history,
Yeah.
the people at the time, every nation wanted to kill every other nation. It was that we can't afford to be overrun. Magentia wasn't known as Magentia. It was these 5 kingdoms at the time that were instigating this. And it's why Mufasa was led out of his home, the Tabaxian, to kind of start uniting things, right? Like, we're going to kill ourselves. What you find is in 9121, a letter written to the King of Corona at the time from Seporia, basically stating, we are not allies, we are not friends. If this war threatens to doom us all, let your doom be of your own make. But here's what you find, because you don't... What stops you is you're realizing this letter has been read multiple times. And this is where you can bring it to the group, because you find that information about like a dwarf mason being sent specifically, something very interesting, and then you're looking and realizing all of this stuff has dust on it. This letter has the mark of being looked at so much. Like, there's no dust on, like, as if people have looked at this over the years for a long time. Like, it has been resealed, like, repackaged, like, never rewritten. It looks like an original document. But almost every so often you think it's been looked at. But everything on letter just looks like we're not allies, right? Like, hey, if we're about to all kill each other, up you, right? Like, literally it's a middle finger from the Seporians to the King of Corona saying, we're not friends. Which actually you realize is the grandfather of the late King Frederick. Or excuse me, the father of the late King Frederick. So this is like, like Rapunzel's grandfather. This was a letter written to him saying, we hate you. Don't look to us for any form of support in this war to kill us all. But this letter is so fresh. Like, it has been kept pristine. And so this is where you can bring it to everyone.
I think so too.
Sorry, I saw your seat for a second.
What else do you think?
So I'll just let the party know. You guys might want to hear
Miss you
this.
this year? You're looking at her. I
There's-
really want to come see her.
I'm so distracted by William.
It's good. Baby William is the best
And he
distraction.
is so cute and silly today.
No, so please though, share how you want.
I'll just let them know that like there was this dwarf who was a Freemason. Who was like a Freemason. It sounds like he might have been one of the originals, but I'm not sure. He was sent from Corona to Seporia, and then about how many years later was it? Like 100 years later?
What you find, the dwarf was sent almost directly after the Tieflings arrived.
Okay.
That was like in the 7,000th millennium.
Okay.
2 millennium after, in the War of Desolation, the 9,000th, where you guys still are.
Okay. So
About 120 years ago.
About 120 years ago, Seporia sent a message back to Corona letting them know that they hated them. And so somewhere in there is where I think things are happening. And this letter is like that I found has been looked at multiple times. I can only assume it's by Corona, because where else, we're in Corona. Unless someone's been looking at it sneakily.
And then also I found this about Avalon. I'm just going to relay the info about the Men of the Highlands and all that.
Okay. So all of you have this information. What would you all like to do with it? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe this is
Rubbing your eyes.
Investigation.
You were a second.
maybe this is weirdly fixating on the wrong details, but you said something about like the letter being surprisingly
You are so
pristine or whatever,
loved.
like preserved to
You have
us.
Yeah.
so many people
Can
who have
I
told you
like
you are so
an
loved.
arcana or something to be like,
You know that?
like, is this a weird thing for the letter to like, because you called attention to it? Does that make sense? Is this like, should the letter not look that good?
Yeah, no,
Like-
please, make me, what would you like to make on it? Like, tell me what
I'm
kind of...
wondering if I even just want to cast Identify.
Oh.
Interesting.
People
That could be
love you.
That's a
good.
good idea.
I think I'm gonna
So
do that.
many people.
That's a good idea.
Here we go. Because you're not finding anything on that.
Okay.
Here's what you can all know. So this will be important for everyone.
Okay.
Antigone is going to cast Identify on the letter. As you do so, the kind of message in your mind that you get gleaned from this information a parchment written in standard ink, almost 120 years old, right? Keeping in the time, with magical ink being used that can only be revealed by certain properties. By using Identify, I will tell you these properties.
Oh.
Very smart, using Identify.
Nice, Meg.
I was like, if that didn't work, I have detect magic, but I don't know how well that would work.
Yeah.
This ink was written using an infernal base, can be revealed using infernal-based magic.
Okay.
So anything, it's not just normal magic. It has to be infernal-based magic. Is kind of the
Poke your own eye with my
What's
finger.
infernal magic?
not really. That's what makes it tough. There's no bar. These are just like documented, kind of by years, sometimes by
If you
theme.
want to check something out from the library, so to speak, is there like a system?
That's actually important. There isn't, and it's why, because again, Antigone chose to bring you here. Again, this might cause problems for you with your parents, but the reason there's no way to check stuff out, no one should be looking at this but the royal family. It's why even you got
That's
very
what I
lucky.
figured.
Eugene is super cool.
There's, like, one
Rapunzel
fire
might not have
one.
let you go, right? It's that this is so, but that's important to know is there isn't even a way to notice if things are done too.
Can I ask, like, what would count as infernal magic, and maybe even make an arcana check to figure out, like, what would I have access to that might, like, count? Does that make sense?
Telling us that.
Say that one more time. I'm not sure I
So
understand.
I'm trying to think, like, what counts as infernal magic? Is it, like, certain types of spells or whatever? Or, like,
Yes, he's
can I
like,
roll an arcana to be like, oh, I
snuggling.
know of something that is,
Oh,
like, infernal
I'll give you this
magic?
with Identify. Infernal-based magic, cast by something infernal, can reveal it, or by transitive property of if it's like an infernal spell or something more based out of Tartarus. Because again, it's not like it's evil. It just means
So, like,
it's
what would count as an infernal spell? Like, necrotic stuff? Or, like...
it could be necrotic. It could be stuff more based in like. If we're going by words, stuff like Hellish Rebuke, but like it's how would you make Hellish Rebuke reveal something?
And I'd be afraid that Hellish Rebuke would, like, burn the papers.
Exactly. There's a
So,
lot that could
are
happen.
you asking if I know any?
No, I'm asking him if I know of anything.
Oh, because I have
Witch
like Wither and Bloom or Ray
Isn't
of
False Life technically necrotic?
Oh.
False
Ray
Life
of
is technically necrotic.
Enfeeblement. Both of those should be dark ones.
If
Blindness,
I
deafness.
used, like...
All of those are necromancy that I would know.
This is gonna
False
be
life.
a really, really weird idea, but I'm looking at my list of stuff,
Wounds.
and it says that, like, yeah, I have one false life rune, but it also says I have, like, a false life potion that I made earlier. If I, like... Is this, like, a letter that I can, like, pick up?
One
It's
second,
not
guys.
attached
Sorry, I
to
can't hear
anything?
Megan.
This letter's, like... I can pick up the letter and it's not, like, attached to a book or anything, right?
Yeah, oh no, yeah, yes, this
So-
is freehand.
The thing on my list that says it's, like, in potion form, can I, like, put the false life potion on the letter and then, like, hold it up to the light or whatever to, like... Does that make sense?
We need lemon juice.
But exactly, but, like,
Yeah,
just the
no.
potion instead of lemon juice.
Would you ruin the letter doing that though?
I don't think so, because I'm trying to see if I can, like, carefully, you know, just that, like, thin layer of the, kind of like he was saying, like, the lemon juice thing from Full National Treasure.
I'm going, once I know where my dice will be, to roll a kind of a pure luck check. Because
Okay.
I don't even know if that could technically work. Like, it's along the bounds of possibility. I'd say you run a severe risk of ruining the letter. It wouldn't be as instant as something like a Hellish Rebuke may. Like, you could probably really read if there's stuff written on it. But it wouldn't last. It could really damage the parchment. Because this is old paper.
Is there something else that you have that's necrotic? That's not necrotic, but of that wouldn't destroy whatever it is. I mean, that's the thing about those types of spells and those types of potions, that they're made not usually to help.
If you also, here's what you can do where Arcana checks might come in. You can make forms of Arcana checks to, like...
Wait, would Devil's Sight work?
Yes.
I mean, it's called Devil's Sight. It's supposed to work for darkness,
Did you
non-magical, or
take Devil's
magical.
Sight?
I did. It's one of my invocations. You can read it on here.
Thank you.
Yes.
Devil's Sight is exactly what you want.
Yes.
because the idea of pact is what is infernal. Deals that are made and met. By having Devil's Sight, you read the paper.
So does that mean that her patron has to be a fiend? Because
Nope.
is that one of the prerequisite ones?
That's
Not
that's kind of what you realize. It's not that a patron has to be a fiend. It's that before the tieflings came, the idea of warlocks and pacts were not used. Because you're not thinking like, oh yeah, I'll put my not always life online, but the idea of deals and devils goes hand in hand, and it's not good or bad. As per example, Saris, I'm going to tell this to you out loud because I assume you're probably just going to repeat. Here's what you find. In the year 9121, this letter was written.
Okay.
The script is not the same as what's on the front.
Oh.
Written from the Freemason Morian to the Freemason Eldoth. Eldoth. Our numbers are dwindling, and I fear my death may be imminent. I am sending the gem to you, as you have the capability. Excuse me. You have I stuttered on my words. I'm sending the gem to you. Your position in their court should allow you to hide the gem.
In the Coronan court, because this is from Seporia.
Because your capabilities of travel are limited, do not try and leave now. Your land transportation would be severely impacted by the elves. Wait until I can secure passage on a ship. Yours, Morath.
Okay.
So it was in Corona, but did it ever get out of Corona?
Yeah.
Hey,
Even get
Eugene!
to
King Eugene, I mean,
Tell me what languages you speak.
I
There's something else I'll
speak
give you.
Common, Undercommon, Elvish, and that's it.
This is written in Undercommon.
Yes!
That is why I was interested that you had Devil's Sight, 'cause I'm like, you fulfilled two things.
So
That's what's
lucky.
important. So important to note, this is written in Undercommon.
Okay.
So even if you ever could speak Common, Undercommon is a language used usually by... Undercommon in this world is the language of animals, the language of nature, not true Druidic. That is usually runic-based and magic-based.
Okay.
Undercommon is made by civilizations that don't use Common. You would think of it in the same way as we look at English to Russian, right? Like, it's still based in that same style of speech, different. So, you guys can hear this.
I'm going to ask you. You said something about a census. Do you have one from? And was it? I can't remember the year.
from that
92,
year?
82.
Oh, to look up the name of the mason. That's so clever.
Thank you.
Nice.
9121, a year after the War of Desolation began.
I'm so happy.
You read through No Check Needed, and you find Eldoth, advisor to the king.
Oh, that makes sense.
So in the same letter that says we're not friends to the king is a hidden message to this other dude.
You know, whoever Moroth is, that's not on the page. Like, this is from the king of Seporia at the time, a totally different name. Like, Moroth is someone new. This is almost a piggyback to letter.
Because I feel like it would be that assumption of masons in different courts communicating with each other because they're in the same organization despite the country's differences.
Yeah.
So we know there was a gem, and we know we need a gem.
While they're talking,
Yeah.
I'm not good at history, so I'm kind of useless here. Can I look through the other letters and see if there's anything else written in Undercommon? Since I have Devil's Sight and
Yeah.
Undercommon, I want to know if there's anything else.
You've hit upon kind of my secret here. Please roll me a bit of an investigation, right? Starting to quickly look at the back, look at the front. Because again, that's kind of the trick of Devil's
Anybody
Sight.
want
You
to
never,
help me?
it's not like, ooh, I'm seeing glowing lights. To you, it just looks like ink on paper. It's why you might miss
Does
it.
anyone have, actually, can I ask someone to Never mind, because I'll be the only one who
Okay.
noticed it anyway.
Well,
Can someone help me if they have investigation?
Does anyone have a proficiency in investigation or that form?
I have expertise.
Excellent.
Sweet,
So if
thank
you two want to start, like, now that you know, like, hey, we could find some of these
that's
more
not
coded
fantastic.
messages.
I got a 10.
10 on advantage.
Yeah. I rolled really
Okay,
low.
we'll get to that. While you two are looking, you three, as
I
looking at
can't
this
use
message.
lucky and force that one, right? It has to be towards me unless I'm giving a disadvantage.
Yes, because lucky, especially since help's already being granted, it doesn't stack the advantage. So you guys, what's some of your thoughts?
So while they're looking at that, can I look specifically for information on this advisor? Like, were there any journals or anything left behind? Or, like, what can I find out about him? And, like...
Yes.
Hey, August.
Mhm.
Could I also make like an insight roll on if any remaining information in Avalon would be in Scotland or in the now skyscraper castle in Sumani.
Ah.
Go for it.
I was looking up
We were
stuff
just
on the
in
gem earlier, but
Yeah.
we never got there except for that. Is that all that there was?
That's what you're finding, because that's what 18 gives you, is that's, you found a letter with that gem, that secret message about a physical gem, you could think. Or whatever the gem is, it sounds somehow physical that was transported. That's part of your 18, of like you found that hidden message.
I just want to make sure that that wasn't forgotten.
No,
There
yes,
is
it
no way this is a
19.
freaking wish diamond.
19. Every piece of information here seems to be redacted about the Men of Highlands and the formation of Scotland. Especially, you think, some of the stuff about that skyscraper. Because you would know that is part of that information. Nothing's here. And the stuff that is all just blanked out.
Okay.
Cool, buddy.
So would I be
Might
able to,
still
like,
need to go to
investigation
Scotland.
on
Yeah.
that? And would I be able to get help, or...
Investigation. I'll say Kenai is the only other one. Like, yes, you two, if it's starting to look up that, like, hey, Eldoth, this advisor, what else is known about him?
So, but I just meant, like, can I get, like, help from Fluffy or something to,
Yeah,
like, roll
that's what I'm
damage?
like.
Okay.
Between you, Fluffy, Kenai, like, you guys are the ones available where it's like, let's look into this advisor, right? It's that kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh. I rolled a nat 4 and a nat 5, so my highest is a 9.
I'm so sorry.
The most there is
All my
is a
dice seem to be
census
nice
about
chill.
Eldoth being the advisor.
Can I look for something else specifically?
What would you look for specifically? That's a good question.
So instead of like looking for a physical gem, can I look for like someone on a census that just pops up, or something on like military records or whatever that just pops up? Like
Yeah.
instead of a like literal gem, just
If
something
it's
else.
maybe a person of some...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's smart. Make me that investigation or history, I'd say.
Also,
Because it's that, is something not congruent with records, or is there a historical evidence of a person appearing? Yeah.
Yeah.
is that advisor appearing only on the one census, or is he appearing on multiple? And when does he disappear?
Oh,
The
that's
advisor
right.
has been in Corona. You see, was born in Corona.
Please, sir.
Lived there his life until his 50s. The War of Desolation began in his mid-50s. And I'll give you this, because there's other stuff. Eldoth was recorded to have been murdered with an assassination attempt on the king's life a few years into the war.
It makes you wonder, though, was it an assassination attempt on the king,
King,
or
or
was it successful
Assassination gone wrong,
on
or did they
Endoff?
get their real mark?
Yeah.
So in that case, I almost think the gem
What'd you
is
get?
physical as
19.
here.
Send it to you again.
I will give you, it's high enough. You're wondering, it may not, if it is a person, it's not a person appearing in Corona. And maybe that's what you would know for that fact of looking around the times of Eldoth, looking at things. No one's appearing on strange manifests, no one's appearing in writing. It looks almost like, it seems like Corona was really good at that person record. Again, Corona's always been about its people. And so it looks like, especially surrounding Eldoth in the time, whatever could be there, especially if Moroth is talking to Eldoth, if a gem's being delivered, it wasn't a person. Because then you would have seen, like, hey, someone came into the county, and you would have found a record of, hey,
Yeah.
Eldoth started hanging around with this dude, or went
Yeah,
off on a trip.
yeah.
It almost looks like if Eldoth left, it was quick enough that it wasn't recorded. Is what I'll give you on 19. It's that he must have gone fast, and so it couldn't have been with a person.
Yeah.
Follow-up question: is Seporia a country that still exists now, or has it
Yes, it
disappeared?
is. Zipori is one of the 7 nations of Fantalma.
Rapunzel's in Superior right now, so
Rapunzel did-
definitely.
I didn't
Yeah,
recognize the name, so I wanted to
Yes,
know.
Saporia is where the fighting festival happened 25 years ago, because they started that as that, like, hey, let's do this, as like, basically they invented the Olympic Games, what we would think of, right? Like, hey, that's fun, let's keep doing it. And so Rapunzel's going because it's like, hey, we're about like 4 months away, let's start planning again.
This is his life.
Not awkward at all.
What I would ask, also,
You guys okay over there?
She'd be weird.
You know what?
Potato
I
tomato.
called a woman cute today, and Nick was like, "That was
I
weird."
was like, yeah.
Like, you're cute. I was like, "Oh, and you're cute too." She's like, "Oh, thanks," and I walk away.
What's
Just-
weird about that?
Oh,
That's something that women do to each other all the time, dude.
Yeah, but
You were
like,
saying this
if
is
I-
uncomfortable,
okay.
and I said that's
You're a
so
dude.
sad for you.
Yeah.
Bummer. That's what
if I like walked up to like one of my classmates and I was like, "You're really handsome today," like
You're a
that's
dude.
weird.
Him
It's
and
so
his
much
entire
weirder.
friend group. Okay.
But Nick, seriously.
Okay, my really close friends,
Yes.
we'll do some
Yeah.
weird stuff.
Yes.
But this was like,
But this is normal women
That's
behavior.
normal. That's how
It's
girls
not
bond.
normal man behavior.
I mean, you and your mission buddies are like
Oh, yeah.
cuddling, standing
Yes.
cuddling up.
That-
like on my mission,
You have no
We
We
right,
have
sir.
friends who are strict
there was
girls.
this one
Sure.
guy. Like,
Do we
Um,
get anything on the 10?
sorry, I was
We
finishing,
slept in the same mattress for,
texting
like, a
people,
whole
and
transfer
The
because
10
the
investigation?
rule is you can't
I
sleep
didn't
in
think
the same
so.
bed as your companion, but he wasn't my companion. He
Yep.
just lived with me.
Oh! Oh,
important to know,
We
I
used to-
finished
That one for
sending
Anna.
off, because I know people were sending me stuff, so I finished sending people
Hi.
things.
How far
Use
do you
that
have to
rule like
cover
on
yourself?
transfers if
No,
we
I'm
had to stay at
joking.
another
So
missionary's
here's-
apartment.
Yep.
It's like
Here's what I will
You're
give
not
you
my
all,
companion.
because right now,
just face the opposite.
it is now turning towards evening. You guys have been here. You're realizing like it's been hours of like searching, like again, because when someone finds one book, you're going off
I can't see
anymore.
your face.
I will kind
That
of
sound
wrap
like
up or
upside
give you a
sound.
summary just to like help of the information you found. So what has been found is this: the men of the Highlands asked Coronans for help way back in the 8th millennium, and Coronan said no because you're not willing to tell us about Avalon or share information about Avalon.
That's much better.
Yeah, you want your mom.
In when the tieflings appeared in the world way back in like the early, that 5th millennia,
Now he smiles.
or excuse
when
me,
you
in the
walk away
7th
from me.
millennia, the tieflings came, and the Coronan Queen at the time sent a Freemason dwarf to go meet with them.
Wait, and what?
Sorry, I'm giving the information.
It didn't
sorry.
say the name of the Freemason in that
Didn't say
letter,
the
did it?
Freemasons, but
Okay.
it's one of those very specific, like it said our dwarven Freemason. 2,000 years later, the War of Desolation began. A letter sent from the Seporians, which the message says we're not here to help, but a piggybacked message from 2 Freemasons, Morath telling Eldoth to take the gem to someone. That something talking about if you travel on land, the elves will catch you, so go by boat. But that it doesn't seem to be a person because there was no other records of Eldoth
Right.
leaving with a person or anything. If it was smaller enough or subtle enough, it was just fast. This is the information you have. You see, King Eugene's kind of looking at this because again, unfortunately, he is here. I shouldn't say unfortunately. He is kind of listening to all this and just going, "You guys are looking for some big information. Let me offer you some free advice. You're talking some secret stuff. Sounds like people are being killed for this." Because again, one of those last records you guys are finding is Eldoth died a few years into the war. Assassination attempt gone wrong on the king, because that was super common during the War of Desolation. Everyone was trying to kill all the leaders of the world. Because again, take out everyone, stronger survive. It was a dark period of time.
Yeah.
So, the last thing you're seeing, and this is where Eugene's interjecting, going, if people are killing for this kind of treasure, you guys need to be safe.
Yep.
I have one last idea to look for. So typically when people are killed for secrets that they know, they are killed shortly after they have somehow secured them. So I'm wondering, are there any travel records of where he went in the last couple weeks before he was killed?
You say Bernie sometimes.
Excellent.
Yes. Okay.
Freely given.
That's so weird.
Here's what I will give you.
Okay.
All of you, as I will say, Ceres, in character, it's that. Where did he go? Did he go anywhere before he died?
Yep.
Again, because if you're now realizing, because what people wouldn't have thought at the time, oh, this was an assassination gone wrong. No, if they were going for the advisor personally, where did he go in the weeks before he died?
Yep.
A travel manifest that you miss, again, in a good way, you miss because it was just him. Eldoth booked a personal charter for a supply run to the kingdom of Agrabah exactly a month before his death. He went there. The journey took 2 weeks, both getting to there and back. Meaning, round trip, he couldn't have been in the city more than a day.
That sounds sus.
But when you're in a war, it's, our advisor's going with the supply ship. Again, we're trying to have relationships with Agrabah. They're not... Agrabah did not go heavy in the war. The Sultan at the time, like, that's public knowledge. The Sultan had gotten very... I don't want to say simple, like, he was just kind of like, hey, we're our own kingdom. We're not going to go kill you guys because we're fine in our desert kingdom.
Yeah.
But Eldoth was in Agrabah maybe a day at most.
Okay. I think
Came
we
back,
might need to go to
and
Agrabah.
a month before his death, he got back, and within days of his return, he died. Because, again, protecting the life of the king at the time.
Yep. Here we go.
Oh, King Darian, sorry, excuse me. Darian the king, who, passed away years later into the War of Desolation, succeeded by King Frederick when he was still in his 20s. Yeah. Frederick grew up, had daughter, and we all know that Disney. Yep. Rapunzel, blah, blah, blah. So Antigone...
Hey, Megan, we learned something.
Oh, yes.
We might be going to Agrabah.
What?
Eldoth, Saris very cleverly, where did he go right before he died?
Yeah.
Booked charter for a 2-week trip to Agrabah, and was back within another 2
Is this in the frickin' Cave of Wonders? Oh, but that's been looted so many times.
You would know this, and you would know this because of your parents. I'll give this for you.
Yes.
Cave of Wonders is a journey out of Agrabah. This dude couldn't have been in the city more than a day.
So he probably didn't even go to the Cave of Wonders. He probably just went to Agrabah.
Where in Agrabah can you go from port to back? Because again, it's that I'm giving this for free. It's that you do the math and realize, as in the ship docks in the morning, he gets off, and during the day they finish that offload
by
reload,
evening he's
and
back on
he's
board.
back. There's no way anyone could get. Cave of Wonders is a bit of a journey, honestly. To
That's
get to,
true.
right?
I
mean, you
remember
guys
that
know
was a
this,
few
but
hours.
Hey, we are aware that the Masons built stuff, right?
Mhm.
Do we have an idea of what they probably built in Agrabah, like the palace or one of the temples or something?
you might have to go look around in Agrabah for that.
Here.
All right.
Is there any book specifically about the Masons? Like anything about like their symbols they might have put into their buildings or anything like that?
This is a box of dim.
Is there a symbol on the letter, actually?
Because did they put symbols anywhere? Because again, it wouldn't be in a book. Most of the stuff people have is like, oh, we have our Freemason advisor, right? Like, dude who's helping build. Because again, no one's thinking, oh, they're a secret society.
Yeah.
Right.
This was a guild, right? They were known as the Freemasons because, again, yeah, we'll send our dwarven Freemason friend over because he can help you, right? Like, he's awesome. They're not thinking, oh, because they're running the world or that kind of vibe. What kind of symbol do you think you're looking for?
Mason.
Was the dragon symbol a Mason symbol?
No, I don't think so, because isn't that more related to the different house symbols? Which were
I'm
different?
I think the inference, if that helps, is this may be a house symbol. Like Draken symbol might be a house. That was the inference gained earlier because talking to Elder Marsha about the houses at one point were Freemasons that were helping the Freemasons and then they just kind of lost to history. And so it's like this could be one of those old symbols of a house.
I'm mostly thinking of like trying to recall to other places I've been in my like gladiator travels and like the castles and stuff that would have had a Mason advisor. If there's one specific symbol that keeps repeating across the countries.
Exactly. Here's what we're gonna do. You think back, David. You've traveled to arenas, beautiful architecture, and you're thinking through. I need you to roll me a history check with advantage real quick.
Okay.
Ooh, with advantage. That's good. Oh, please tell me your history is good.
It's a +2.
That's not bad.
Picking
That's
a
not
dice
bad.
that's been nice to me.
They're not
On your
20.
first
Yes!
roll.
Nat 20 it?
On my first roll, that's a nat 20.
And now you have inspiration too. That's not
Oh yeah, inspiration with
Yeah!
20s.
The other one was a 15, so.
It was a natural 13.
Every piece of architecture is different. It's art. It's beautiful. From the Sumanian early, again, those great massive stadiums that are built, that one still exists in Sumani that you know of. Seeing those, and David thinking back to the Magensian architecture, those castles, again, high-rise, beautiful old architecture. There is one symbol that has always stood out,
Oh my gosh.
of a triangle with a compass in that middle, the 2 points out of the triangle. For Freemason architecture, the right-sided triangle, equilateral,
That's awesome. Dude.
and you stop and realize you haven't seen this on any piece of paper, but you look at the ground of this old library. You're looking at each of the shelves.
Oh god.
If
This is
the
amazing.
shelves weren't in this room, take a wild guess what you think the shape of this room is.
No way. No way.
So the shape of the whole room is a mason symbol.
Oh my
With
gosh.
the 2 staircases being the final points heading out.
My gosh.
As you realize this, I'll let you give that information to everyone.
Yeah. Boom.
All of you stop. Yeah. Take away all the bookshelves, the cushions, the locked filing cabinets. This is a giant Freemason symbol room.
I love
So that's cool, but that also
The
means it's
music
probably
radio.
going to be really hard to look for in Agrabah. Like, if it could be a random room or, like, something this abstract, like,
Oh, I
it'd be
hope
hard to
not.
find.
True.
Could we look at a map on the way there?
Oh.
We
Just
can
like
find
look
any.
for a shape.
I'm
I
gonna
have
tell
a
you something.
question.
Yes.
Is there anything that would point to something being under this room?
That's what I was thinking.
I'm
'Cause there
gonna
has
say
to be
on
a
the
Yeah,
map
reason
there's
in
going to
this
be
room.
something hidden.
It's a
The
Freemason
middle of a
symbol.
Freemason symbol, again, where the 2 points of the compass meet. It's on that nat 20. The staircases that lead don't go all the way in, right? They're not like leading to a point of the room. You all watch. David is shoving out of the way. You start moving shelves and bookcases, walking in, and then walking back into the other side, walking. You see Eugene just big floor plan, man. I guess. It's like he just got David, and then you hit that point in the middle of the room, equidistant from each point as well as the staircases.
Question. Do we really
And
want to do
here-
this with Eugene in the room?
Oh.
Too late.
Too late. I'm giving the nat 20. He's kind of watching this.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I press down on that.
Loose floorboard.
I'm just gonna get in there and just pry it up.
Inside. It's a stack of letters. I have
We
secrets
found
everywhere.
something big,
This is
guys.
something big.
Oh my gosh.
These are all blank pieces of paper to everyone but Saris.
Oh my
You're
god.
on the right track.
You took double sight.
I can't believe I took Devil's Sight. Like, what the heck?
Because again, I'm like, there's a lot
I
you can
think
do
I
with this.
know.
This is wild.
You're
And you
very
speak
lucky.
Undercommon. You can read.
Dang,
around.
that was really lucky. What the heck?
We have these. Good thing you can read.
These
Yeah.
papers.
I can read!
Color we're going.
Ever since Corona was built, years ago,
What?
these are some old notes. Again, you're realizing that. Let's make sure I tell you correctly. Back to the Seven Kingdoms. Yes, Corona has been around for millennia. Ever since about that 5th and 6th millennia, even before the founding of Fantalda.
Yeah.
And these are letters detailing, none too important, of arrived here. This is going to be named Corona. I'm currently working on building a castle, talking with the ruling monarchy.
That's cool.
Old Freemason. Just basically information of like, how's it going while I'm doing this? Hey, who wants to go here? I've got extra workmen and supplies we could send off. Of these old Mason symbols.
I am looking for this symbol.
Yep.
Just keeping an eye out for it.
So, in looking through, you also see that Freemason symbol
Yeah.
on a lot of these papers, right? That equilateral triangle with the twin point.
Mm-hmm.
The last one you find is scrawled fast.
Okay.
King Darian seems worried. I'm not sure if he is sure of my position, but thankfully, he is yet to discover the sapphire.
Yep. Okay.
I've been able to book a charter under the guise of increasing relationships with Agrabah. But I think someone's on my tail. There is a symbol you haven't seen.
Okay, I'm gonna draw it out for everybody to see. Like, I'm going to put a piece of paper over it and trace it best I can.
As you put it on, and are you kind of relaying some of this
Oh,
letter
for sure.
out loud?
I'm just gonna be reading out
Just
loud.
to everyone. I'm working fast. I don't know who to trust. For the next Masons that find this, remember, we're here to save the world, not destroy it.
Ooh.
That's where we're going to take our break.
What?
Thank you all so much. For those watching, thank you. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back in a moment.
Oh my gosh, August! You were so
And welcome back, viewers and players. Last we left off, information was given. You have found this intricate symbol hidden in a message by the Freemasons. The information is now yours. You see that King Eugene is kind of sitting there just going, wow. I should probably actually check my room real quick. Isn't that like idea of like when suddenly this like old library you've had forever, and someone walks in and finds it, and you're like, oh man, secret tunnel.
Secret
It is later in the evening, right, closer to a dinner time.
We just woke up the downstairs neighbors.
Yeah, right. Whoever lives below this. What would you guys like to do though?
Okay, I wanted to.
So wait, it's nighttime right now?
Think like 7 or 8.
Okay.
So, I guess I've been all over this world, saved it a couple times. But I'm curious, would I have seen this symbol on anything, like, passively, and would I remember it? That's what I'm wondering, because now, like, you see the symbol, wouldn't I recognize it somewhere, seeing as I've been everywhere?
Yeah.
What do I need to roll?
History check. Because you've probably seen this symbol
I
before.
know, that's what I'm thinking. I've been everywhere. Lucky.
No, that's fair.
That was worse. It's like a 13.
That's probably why it's called lucky and not good luck. Because, not always.
Send your message. Because, again, this
Sent me a
season...
message, sorry.
Through message. No, you're good. There will always be things that you guys learn that I will allow you to give to a player. Like, some of the big info, when you're all in the same room, if you're, like, introspectively thinking...
Thanks, sir.
You have a lot of information.
So are we going to Agrabah or...
Scotland?
Agrabah,
or-
Scotland. There's a lot of places. Again, you have just been given information basically to the world, right? Like, there's almost no wrong answer.
Yeah, the Freemasons were all over the place.
Yeah.
I feel like if we try Agrabah, though, we'll be like on the trail of the gem. Versus like Scotland, we might find stuff, but it might not be related to like where the gem went after it was in Corona.
Yeah. Do we want to try the gem?
Well, because it sounds like that's the thing that will lead to whatever we're
Is
looking
there
for,
a letter
right?
that seems relatively unimportant?
An area that seems unimportant?
A letter that we found that seems relatively unimportant? Like, it's just like, oh, well, here's reports on how the building of the castle has been
Yeah.
going.
Like, oh yeah, like, hey,
It has no
anyone want to
actual
come down
historical
to,
importance.
yeah, it's like, hey, I'm heading off to Brood in the next couple weeks to build in the Orc realm. Anyone want to come with me?
Cool.
Like,
I want
Yeah.
to take one of those, and I'm going to go off into a corner of the library, kind of hunker down and be like, is this magical enough?
it's on its way.
It's on its way?
On its way.
Wait, what? This is on its way?
It's
No, that's
Oh,
what
it's
we're
getting
looking
close
for.
to being magical
I'm
enough.
personally, yeah, like,
Okay, I'm just like,
closer. You-
what's on its way?
Using a magical ink that only certain things can reveal and only certain people can read. It's on its way to being there.
It's approaching magical enough. Okay, that's fair.
Uh-huh.
Then
Yeah.
I'm gonna go return it to the rest of the papers.
Cool. Just slip it back in.
Mm-hmm.
Clever.
Well, if that's
Gonna
good
check
enough.
where we found the letter, see if there might be anything else sitting in there.
Quick investigation. You realize there isn't, probably because this is meant to be this is a
Yeah.
place to hold letters and
If they put
records.
a
Like,
secret place in a secret place, they're insanely cool.
right, like already only
False
certain
alarm.
people can get in there, and only certain people can find this, and then doing paranoia. There's a difference between being careful and being paranoid.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's smart to check. I'll say that.
Okay.
Which place is closer? Agrabah
Uh,
or Scotland?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I don't think Sarah's
To
cares
that,
which
we
place
go back
we
to
go
our
to.
world
I feel
map.
like Scotland would be like somewhere in between Corona and Agrabah almost.
I feel
Very
Except
much
this
so.
is
I
much more
remember, I feel like
south.
Scotland's
But
more
more
down.
eastern, or yeah.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna throw up a map.
I feel like Scotland's a little bit closer.
Corona is
Like,
in the far
kinda dip
northeast,
down on the
Agrabah is
way
in the
up
far
to-
northwest, and then Scotland seems to be in the
Desanya.
south by
2.1
southwest,
new.
maybe.
I called it New Desanya, didn't I?
I think like
What did I name it?
Corona's Minnesota, and Scotland's like Oklahoma on the way to Oregon.
Oh, that's New. Literally trying to pull up New Sumani City,
I
and
thought Corona was still pretty western, just very northern.
No, it's like all the way over on the.
Here we go.
Oh,
Okay.
Let's look at the map. Those at home,
Well, for
you
some
can kind
reason,
of see
when
the
I was
map.
like
Let's go
tilting
ahead.
it and thinking about
And turning off our
that
cameras for a
makes
second.
sense.
Here we go. Looking at this map,
Okay, yeah.
you guys are in.
Also,
Corona.
Scotland and Agrabah are about
To get
the
to
same
Agrabah, to
distance.
wrap the world, is a 2-week sail
Oh,
around
right,
the world.
we already
Right?
know
You
that.
already know that.
But Scotland.
If you're to get to Scotland, you could do that
Oh, yeah,
week
Agrabah's
down
actually
to
closer.
Sumani, because again, that's
Yeah,
pretty
it is.
close. And then from Sumani, after that, well, I should say a week because you were with a pirate.
I
Right.
have a question.
If you go up
Teleportation.
I was
around
about to
in,
say,
this is
you
going to
can't
be
tell me in 25 years we haven't built more teleportation
Jasmine and
circles.
Rapunzel are buds.
Are you telling me there's no teleportation
Here
circle
we go.
here
We're turning
in
back on the
Castle of
camera
Corona?
so people can see us. All right, I'm gonna make some pure luck checks to see where
Spent
Rapunzel
25
has
years
access to.
since
That's
to
a
her
fair.
best friends, who
Stop.
are all the images.
Stop circumventing my travel encounter. I want y'all to have to fight a goblin or two one day.
Genuinely, I just want
genuinely-
to
We just had like 2 TPKs in the
More,
whole
yeah.
session.
One of you
Make it
needs to turn
happen.
into a car so we can just ride. Yeah, we deserve it. We almost kept dying.
Baby rolled a nat 1 on our last travel.
Yeah,
We
I
need
did.
no. What we need.
Go for it, Will.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang could
Um,
exist in this world. Sorry. Anyway, we just need more to turn into Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. So boat, car, plane, all the things.
75%.
Yes.
Here's what I'll allow.
An actual all-terrain vehicle.
Okay, here we go.
Yes, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, the original.
Rapunzel
ATV.
in Corona is going to have a circle of teleportation to the Cathedral of Tiger Lily, Notre Dame.
Yeah, for sure.
She would have one to Petrum Superbia, you know, King Arthur's castle.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
She would have a personal one that you guys wouldn't know, so, but
Yeah.
just to like let you know, to Neverland, to Lily's grave.
Yeah.
That's a personal one.
Yeah.
And she would have one that would take you to France.
Yep. There
Okay.
is one more that you forgot about, August.
Hmm.
She has one on the Prime Meridian. Is a Prime Meridian anywhere close to Agrabah? You asked me if she
Yeah,
would.
no.
Okay.
No, that's a great. I almost forgot because I was thinking location,
Would we
not
have any way of
location.
knowing where the meridian is, though?
No, so
You
that's what I'm
do
gonna roll a
might.
luck check.
Crapshoot.
Let's see
You
where
do
the
might.
Meridian is. Again, the Meridian, Royal
Like
Ship of the
Jack sank it
Imagineers.
5 years ago.
What does that mean on my chart? Let's see.
We should all just go, and if it
Okay.
isn't there, we just commandeer it. and take it there.
You could go for. Yeah, I won't tell you where it is, but
Does
it's
Eugene
not
know?
in Corona. That's kind of the. It's not in Corona or Sumani currently.
That's fair.
Because you would have known that, right? Like,
so the closest we would get
We
to
could go to
anywhere,
France.
yeah, is France. We could hit
France.
Scotland, and then that's even closer to Agrabah.
Yeah,
than
then
we
go
are
up to
right
Agrabah.
now.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. Then we
Actually,
take,
would
like,
it be
some of the
closer?
season-
Would we be closer to Agrabah than 2 weeks if we're in Scotland?
from Scotland, you're sailing a week and a half
said yeah.
through the archipelagos.
So it would
the
be
Euro,
faster.
The Euro archipelagos.
Yeah, so we could totally
Um,
teleport to France, hop on over to Scotland, and then go take a boat to Agrabah.
We just have to make sure.
I mean, I'm still curious to see what you're gonna roll.
I already did.
Oh, okay. So you know where it is, but we don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like if it was somewhere you guys would have seen or have some sort of knowledge. Because right now it's somewhere you don't know, so it's a chance. You
Is
could,
there an official charter?
for the Meridian?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely not. This is the equivalent of a
It's like Air Force
private
One.
fighter. Yeah, you're not going to tell people where the Imagineers are going because they've got enemies,
I'm
right?
really curious
Yeah.
who
So-
is piloting the
Probably
Meridian right
France?
now.
I think France, because then it's just
And
a,
then we can do Scotland. And
It's just a
Edinburgh.
yeah,
skip
it's a
away
quick
from.
jump over to Scotland, and then we just get a boat and sail up to Agrabah.
Hop, skip, and a jump to the French.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, guys,
Even
Corona's a
though
hop,
we're
skip, and a jump
sure.
away.
Okay, here's my question.
Hey, how long
Is
did the
it
reign of
better
terror in France
to
last?
have a
Okay.
for sure transportation, even though it will take longer? Because we know that the pirates, they've been asked to take us where we need to go.
If they're close, but if you can find them, yeah, you could probably get help there. Yeah, it's well, and
Except
in Corona,
we've been here the whole
Antigone
day.
could
They may
get
have
a
already
Coronan
left.
ship.
That is true.
You
Yeah.
could get a official charter that would take you to
Ocean
Paris.
But
You said
like,
could.
That's
I
too
don't
long.
think it would be hard to find
Like,
a boat from
frankly,
France. Like, Uncle
I don't
Adam has a
like
lot
it.
of ships.
I think I
Oh,
was
that's true.
thinking
You
of the
know
30-year war.
But
everyone,
Antigone,
don't
does
you?
Uncle Adam let people take his things?
Not a but Bella's cool.
Belle is cool.
You're totally right. How often does Belle get a say in what Adam does with her responsibilities? I'm saying based on what you would know,
Yeah.
Uncle Adam doesn't share, and Aunt Belle, while she loves sharing,
But there's
has a lot
probably
going
like a
on.
port in France where we could catch a charter to Scotland,
yeah.
right? Like, it's got ports.
The point being, yes, you could find ports anywhere. I would even say this. Would anyone like to give me just a quick history check on transportation in that part of the world?
Sure.
Because there's stuff you
Oh
can
my
learn.
gosh, I actually rolled the best I've ever rolled for history. 15.
Yes, you would. Because
Wow, that
this
is a
is
6.
6, 16,
14.
14.
Unless I get advantage.
You said
No, back to the-
investigation?
Investigation, or history, excuse me. Because
Okay.
a lot of this, the history of like, it's that like, hey, have you ever been to New York? What subway line's going to get you somewhere fastest? Is kind of what this check is.
21.
14.
14. Sailing from
Sorry,
Scotland to France, or from France, Scotland's fine. Going from Scotland to Agrabah, you are looking at a bit of a dangerous journey.
Yeah.
Because jumping around to quick nations is safer than sailing through waters. This is all still unclaimed. Like, no one's... It's a bit of a political game of, yeah, we're not going to claim it because then that might make people mad of like, well, you're colonizing an area that people still live, and also we don't want you to get more powerful. Ergo, you're going to have more pirates around there.
Would we be allowed to use
and
some
not
teleportation circles in France?
That's a big gamble.
Yeah, I thought so.
Because here, Uncle Eugene, you live here, this is your home. Of
Yeah.
course, he'd be willing to set up a circle to go somewhere.
That makes sense.
And maybe coming back if it's not like we want to come back. Once you go somewhere, it's such a gamble of you're just people at that point to them, and who's going to allow normal people to use teleportation circles?
Didn't Barbosa say that if we needed a ride anywhere, we could just go to the ocean and ask?
True.
What counts as the ocean, though? In the archipelago, or do we need to go?
Well, I mean, we
All
could
toilets
even,
lead to the ocean.
All roads lead to Rome.
Oh
All
my
turns
gosh!
to the fish.
I mean,
That's a...
It's true.
There's options.
Former Pope of Tiger.
Here's what I'm saying. I would even say this.
Down to take the risk of going to
Pirates.
France, to Scotland, and then to Agrabah.
I'd say that's our best bet right now.
I think it is. Even though I don't like it, because I don't
Especially
like
if
the...
there are pirates
Like
around.
there.
Barbosa might already be skulking around there.
So, France it is?
Viva la France.
France.
Intervention,
I
intervention,
don't know,
intervention.
France. Maybe we could even. I mean, if the oracle's around, maybe she could give us a vision or something.
I'm sorry,
Maybe.
what? You know the Oracle? I know what the Oracle is. Please
All
tell
of
me
you
I
know what the Oracle
okay.
is. That's like name dropping. Yeah, if the Pope's around, I can see if he wants to do me a solid. Like, people don't know this level of stuff.
Antigone,
is what you're quickly realizing.
Are you one of the most powerful humans here?
Not at all.
Probably.
Yeah, they did.
Eugene, absolutely.
I'm
Oh, that was
cute.
Sarah's, he's going to lean in with her. Her granddaddy is Zeus.
I know who Zeus is, right?
The king of the gods?
I'm just making
Yes.
sure.
Wait,
I'm
I-
sorry, what?
Well.
Oh yeah,
kinda
gods
have,
exist.
'cause,
Kill
like,
one.
Dad was kind of God before he got mortals, but
Hey,
it's fine.
Antigone, could you be my patron? I'm
Absolutely
joking. I'm joking.
You become a warlock of Antigone.
That would be hilarious. But,
Um,
I'm not that magical.
Eugene is going to say, listen, I can get you guys to France. We'll get that for you first thing in the morning. Because boy howdy would I get in trouble if I let you all leave without a traditional Coronan meal. Come along. And he's
enough.
going to usher you up, just like, I should get someone to rearrange the furniture tomorrow. Because, like, looking at the room that's now, like, everything pushed aside.
Like,
and
how can anyone access
oh, we're
these
gonna have
shelves?
to. It's a bit of explaining. Eugene takes
What
you
if
all
we
down.
help you out before we leave?
That'd be a huge solid.
Guys, we made the mess. We cleaned up the mess.
It
Babysitting
also-
People will
twins
be asking
101.
questions anyway if they have to come in and
Mhm.
move it all back.
Hey,
Yeah.
I just
Oh.
had a terrifying thought. Where are my brothers?
You
Are they causing trouble somewhere?
How many
Like,
siblings do you
Because if
have?
you're the responsible adult here,
Oh, they're hanging out with Monty.
Who's Monty?
okay.
Oh, don't tell me. Oh,
Yeah,
please.
he's
Oh,
distracted,
please,
right?
please, 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 please.
You don't know Monty.
No, I don't.
Only the
it's fine, we
nicest
don't need
man
to
in
introduce
all of Corona.
Oh, no, Monty.
Uncle
I hate Monty.
His Rapunzel hates Monty.
Okay, but actually, he's kind of
The
annoying.
most
Monty hates
delicious chocolatier in
annoying.
the entire world. Guys looking out for him. They're doing
Giving them a
great.
sugar high. Yeah, they'll be happy.
Oh,
They
it's on the
will
show,
rot
isn't it?
their teeth. What? Sorry.
It's on the show.
Yeah.
That's a show thing.
He's
You see, though,
actually
Eugene,
annoying.
Okay,
you
he
all
just hates
takes a
Rapunzel
moment.
for no
It's that
reason.
like,
That's
how do
right.
we make it look inconspicuous that this was moved at one point?
Yeah.
Let's
He
carry
hates
this
you
over here.
because she designed a new symbol for a stupid frickin' race.
I think I remember this. I actually watched that episode.
It's so dumb.
Uncle Monty's the best. I don't know what
He's
you guys
so
talking
petty.
about. He's a great guy. Bring you in though to the feast hall.
Go for that.
I'm in
Beautiful.
gargoyle mode now.
Actually, yes, it's one of those. The sun would have set as you're moving furniture, so I'm gonna make a quick roll. Die, you're stone.
I'm just solid stone.
No, you see Eugene just, like poke you, and just like, oh, you're one of the.
He's got gargoyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew a gargoyle once. He was cool.
Yeah, what was his name?
Oh, jeez, putting me on the spot. Gregory.
Are you sure there wasn't an L in there somewhere?
Pretty sure it was Gregory.
You sure it's not Goliath?
Could have been, but I think I would remember Gregory. He helped, it was one of the first times. He helped fight when we were fighting for Corona long ago.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, that was my dad.
Really? Not Gregory?
Yes.
You're 100% sure.
Eyes
That-
glow, wings bam, pouch.
Like, you're your dad.
Go
is
right.
not-
I thought it was Gregory. To be fair, your dad's not very sociable in the daytime.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. All right.
Sleep schedules were all over the place as a kid.
Oh,
It's gotta be awful.
this conversation is making me think of something. Because we had that conversation earlier about, like, we don't know magically why you're, like, not a normal gargoyle, right? Like, wasn't
Yeah.
that the conversation we had?
Pretty
if
much.
I cast Identify on you, would it tell us?
We always have fun when we cast Identify on people.
Identify.
Yes, it's not supposed to work on people, but you let Belle do it on Rapunzel, so there is precedent.
Oh! Well,
Only
that was the
because
Oracle, and Rapunzel was,
She
like,
was the
infused
Oracle,
by a
and
magical
yes,
artifact.
because you had an object inside of Rapunzel. It's that,
Oh, dang.
or some other magic imbued object. Because the object was within you in that sense of it's technically
Dang
an
it.
entity. I will
So
have to
probably
say
won't work on a
no.
creature.
It's
Dang
whatever
it.
Goliath is himself.
Can it be like a wait? Does it type magic?
They'll tell you if it's
It will
made
tell you
with
if it's
magic.
magic, but it won't tell you what.
I'll tell you what kind of what school of magic, if there is any, and that's
Yeah. So if you want to use, because detect magic is also a ritual if anyone has it.
I have it.
Yeah, you do. You want to cast it?
Sure.
Go
Alright.
for it. Detect magic.
Should you like your comlink as a scanner for it?
You
Beep,
detect
beep, 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 beep,
the
beep.
magic behind it that kind of comes to your mind is a very unique type of magic known as graviturgy.
You're doing graviturgy?
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Woo! Sorry.
The magic of mass and weight and presence of objects, creatures, and time, I should say.
Oh.
Now, we all know chronomancy is the magic of time, but
Think more
graviturgy
space-time.
is space-time, like how objects affect the world around
You're
Is-
Yeah.
them. David
Kinda
just-
goes without saying.
August for a second.
Weird. I know. What's up?
Okay, but I want to know so bad who your mom is. Like,
We don't
Sarah
talk-
doesn't care.
We don't talk about her.
We don't.
We don't
Is
talk
she
about
Mona?
Is it
This
her?
guy's mom.
Oh no, it's Simona.
But that's
Yep.
metagaming.
This guy's mom.
I'm sorry.
Pastries and lamb
You got
stew,
mommy issues.
berries, and the
Sarah
most
doesn't know about
delicious
Oh, I
hot
know.
chocolate.
I know.
Dinner is a roaring time. You see, Eugene has invited Lance and most of the head of security, who Antigone, you know, is Hookleg and Sven and like all the like old ruffians who are now all heads of security in their own rights to
Tastes
Corona.
Sven and I still think Frozen.
Yeah, same.
Oh,
Um,
I'm sorry. Yeah. No,
I actually
yeah,
should
no.
point out Sven is the head of criminal correction. Because again, we're not going to throw people in prison for them to just sit there and get angry. We're going to let them learn.
That is awesome.
So Rapunzel.
It
Yeah.
is so Rapunzel.
As dinner concludes, all of you are having a wonderful time. But I would like you two. Let's see. Wait. I need Franny, Kim, and Saris to roll me perception checks.
I was
Yes,
not
sirree.
expecting that.
I think I just learned something.
You know what? It sounds good.
19.
Oh, that's 16 plus 19.
Oh, we both got 19.
That's pretty good.
Franny and Saris,
Yes. Dang.
you hear at the end of dinner as King Eugene just. Now we've got some great rooms. Antigone, you've got your place off in the wings. But for our fine feathered friends, we do have a big. You both hear a voice in the back of your mind
Oh, thank you.
go. Come on down.
Can I look around and see if I make eye contact with anybody to
Yes.
see
What?
Do we make eye contact?
I would assume so because I'm kind of freaking out too. Something creepy and yeah, okay.
Do you want to go?
Huh.
Is that a threat?
Okay. Does this voice sound creepy?
Yeah. Or
It's not a little creepy, just more the fact that it's kind of. It's not a telepathic voice. It was almost that you heard it in that sense.
Let's go.
I'm gonna look under the table real quick. Just to be
That's
like,
fair.
Sweet serious. I don't think that's how it meant. But.
I mean, if we were lucky. Sure. Let's go.
I would like.
This is a trap and it's really bad and I'm sure it's
I'm
Let's
sure
do
it's
it.
horrible.
I would like both of you to first roll me some quick stealth checks, because you're gonna need to like. It's that classic again. What Kenai was suggesting
separate from
earlier
the
is that
party.
like as you're walking, you just fall behind, don't make the turn,
15.
and go off. Right, like as Eugene's kind of being like, we have your variety of rooms. What do you want? We've got like
Yeah.
beds, and so it's that classic. You two would do that. Let's move.
15.
So I'm rolling stealth?
Yes.
And is this okay, yeah.
Stealth should be
I
second
will-
from the bottom.
Provide this help too if you want to use your pass without a trace spell. For both you, it adds
Oh.
10.
Oh, 24.
24.
I really like passing up truths.
25, sorry, 25.
28.
24.
25,
Easily
I
passing
misspoke.
any of the passives, as well as Lance, head of security, who's going on his way. You both stop and slip back. The voice doesn't speak, but as you walk, every so often you have those gut feelings of, do we go down this set of stairs? Do we turn in here?
Can I link arms with Sarah's?
Yeah, I'm fine with that actually. Like,
Yeah.
Full,
Okay.
that Wizard of Oz linking arms.
if we die, I'm gonna be so ticked.
I
Me
have
too.
an idea, and I don't like the idea I have. But I
As
wonder
you
why
are walking down,
guys.
Please
Yeah.
don't make
So
me your
worried.
initiative.
eventually
Why would
you
only
realize that you have both found your way to a corridor that seems to end rather abruptly. It's easy enough to notice that the stonework seems newer, just based on cleanliness, and that symmetrically it doesn't line up with the rest of the castle. it just stops.
I'm going to bonus action do my shift thing.
Can I proceed? Or like
So I'm at
investigate or
25 hit points, just so you know.
25 hit points?
Yep.
Do you want perception?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'll do that too, I guess. 15.
Lights are red.
22.
Ooh.
Oh, thank goodness we have her.
Stone?
Left. Stone.
Okay, so can I follow that? Wait, what did you say?
Touch. Left. Stone.
I'm going to take my great club. Are you saying that out loud to us?
Yeah, I'm
To
saying-
both? I'm gonna poke.
Does it?
Okay.
The door swings open, almost invisible to your eye.
I'm getting Sleeping Beauty vibes, so this is scary.
We gotta go.
Stairway
I
that
gotta
circles
know.
down.
We gotta know. But we are
As-
definitely linked arms, and we are definitely, and we're still.
I'm going
still
to
hopefully-
rip off a piece of my, like the bottom of my shirt, and put it so that when the door shuts, it's sticking out.
Nice.
that.
You shut the door, it's sticking out. And on this side, you can see it's a door with a handle.
But on the other side,
Both
it's
sides
just
to the
stone with a
wall.
little piece of fabric.
But I want to have a couple inches out, so people are like, "What the heck? How did that?"
My little
Walking
froggies are like getting
Down
scared.
the stairs,
I'm walking with my great club.
you find your way at the bottom to a dark room.
Hmm.
There's a
Oh, I can see.
chair,
I can see. Okay, sorry. I'm so grateful.
and
Is
in the
there somebody in
darkness,
the chair?
a wall of what looks like glass.
Oh no! Don't tell me. Oh no no no!
And on the other side, there's a figure sitting on a cot.
I know. Oh no!
This bitch. I'm sorry.
What does the figure
Yes,
look like?
yes.
The head turns. You heard my message.
Who are you?
Jesus.
The figure stands,
What
gaunt,
do they look like?
thin, long hair down around their face,
What are they wearing? What does their outfit look like?
tattered rags of a prisoner. Walks up to the glass, head looks up of a gaunt older man with a long white streak on his hair.
I knew it! It's Marion!
Oh,
No!
you're powerful, aren't you?
I'm so sad.
Marion better good.
He was the vessel of Hades.
I'm so sad. I was really hoping he was okay. Okay, I'm fine. Saris doesn't care about this dude.
But you do.
I know.
Do I know who this is? Can I history check it? No.
I don't think either of us.
So,
This is above our pay grade. Okay.
you heard it. Very much so.
Why
did
were you
summon us?
talking? Yeah.
I didn't summon anyone.
I'm gonna look behind us. What the heck? Okay, cool.
Seaver. But you heard it, didn't you?
Yeah, how did we hear you?
When someone speaks, but it's not their voice. When a call sounds, but no one but those who know hear.
Those who know what? I'm not a patient person. You don't know me like that, but I'm not a patient person.
But why did you hear me?
I'm
That's
always
what we're
right.
asking you.
The Queen did a lot to keep me here. I
What did-
can't even cut my own finger without multiple spells stopping me in place in this room.
What did you do to get behind this glass?
You know, what anyone else does.
I really don't know.
Try to help people. Do what you think is right. Crack a few eggs.
Was it a tasty omelet?
I'm going to try and reach out to my patron.
Nothing.
Okay, that doesn't. Do I usually feel something there?
No, so it's not like
Okay.
it's bad.
So I
It's just
can't
that-
necessarily notice it. Okay.
Are my frogs investigating at all, like getting close to the glass?
No, it's that
I don't think
they
we should
can
touch
look
the
out.
glass.
You just see. So, why are you here?
I was curious. I'm done. Let's go. Hey,
Do you know why we're here?
Oh boy.
He's gonna make a check. Does your family know you're here?
Yeah, we should go now.
No!
That's creepy.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so sad.
And to answer, yes.
He's gonna make a check again. Does she know you're here?
Are you talking about her?
I don't know a whole lot of she's. Who are you talking about?
His eyes going.
Never mind.
Oh.
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, so you're both not really friends, are you?
Us?
Because what kind of friends leave their other friends upstairs
Let's
and
go.
keep secrets?
Let's go.
What secrets is she keeping?
Secrets are no fun.
You know, you want to know what secrets I'm keeping? I'm trying to find a boy with beautiful blonde hair, beautiful blue eyes, and I don't know where he is or what his name is. That's my whole purpose.
I mean, what is, doesn't he, is he, I mean, blonde, I get it. Let's go. I think it's time.
I forgot that you married a blonde.
You're
Blonde blue eyes.
Yep. She's like, I
get it.
totally get
Yeah.
that's my type too.
Well, nice to meet
Okay.
you, creepy man.
I don't think it was nice.
Want
to
to take a message?
No.
A message?
Oh, you'll want to hear this
Ugh.
message. Let the queen know. They're coming for them.
Who's they? You gotta be more specific. You're not really good at that.
You don't need to suit.
All her little friends.
Little friends.
Push down enough people. There's a lot of people that want to push you.
I think.
I think this man in the clear box, there's no significance that we can leave.
Huh?
I think this man in the clear box is toying with us and we should leave.
This man was a god!
Oh, gosh.
You know, I don't really know what that is much. Goodbye.
Pardon me, but most gods that I know don't get trapped behind glass.
Hey, Franny, remember
Then
how
you
we
better
said we were
hope
gonna
this glass
go?
never breaks. Little girl. Tell your family I say hi.
Time to go.
That's what I. Yeah. Yes, let's go. He's kind of ugly looking for an ex-god, huh?
You guys walk all the way back up and
Oh
both
my
feel your hearts
God.
racing, closing the door behind you.
Hey, Franny, let's agree that if we ever hear voices in our heads like that again, no.
Yeah.
No.
And we tell each other.
Yes, and then we agree to ignore it.
Yes.
Unless it's,
Our patrons or some shit.
yeah, because I like that voice.
I like that one too. Yeah.
Kinda
I mean,
weird,
I don't have one, but
but
like,
it's a
I get
good
it.
one.
Yeah. From what I understand. Yeah.
She's cool. She's cool.
Okay.
The night passes without any incident. It's a lovely night.
I
Sleep
think
well.
we had to investigate. That was good.
I'm so sad
Hang on.
right
So
now.
could I
That was
have
a fun-
done
bumped
some
it up her
prep
voice. That
stuff
was good.
before bed as well?
Yes, what would you
I
want
love
to
that.
prep?
What secrets are you keeping? I'm a
so-
lovesick person.
Can't I do something about
Body
like
wise, I get it.
spending hit dice to get blood points?
That was funny.
Yes, using your hit die to make
So
a
I
book.
would get 2 of them, right?
Correct.
Okay, so we'll do that. And then I have got
Bite your
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
a couple spell slots.
I'm really
I
sorry.
was interested
Oh my
in
goodness.
which of you would heal.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think I
Sorry,
am
I just
going
pictured
to
Louis.
just set up
I love
2
bite.
comprehend language restrictions, and then I'll probably swap that out for a new spell.
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
That's why I laughed so
And then I'll
hard.
look through my
I'm
spells and
sorry.
figure out which one I want to take.
Excellent.
Sorry, I'll be good. Maybe.
Waking in the morning, you all hear the knocks on your doors, whether it's Lance or Eugene or some of the other guardsmen, inviting you just to a simple breakfast before you
I
head.
am going to really quick grab Franny and tell Eugene what happened. Since we know that the
Eugene's
queen
gonna
is
immediately
his
then pull you into
wife.
a corner.
Oh,
but
gosh.
would you have talked to Eugene or Franny first?
I would have grabbed Franny to go talk to
Okay.
Eugene.
He pulls
Is
you
that
into
okay?
a corner.
Okay.
Very soon. If you tell anyone what you saw, you will be tried for treason in the kingdom of Korea.
We didn't
We
do
weren't
anything.
planning on it. Okay.
Literally, we did nothing.
You tell no one.
Understood, sir.
I have friends that will bring you here, and you will not leave this kingdom if you ever tell.
Agreed.
Promise.
We only do that with
Okay.
friends, not people who are threatening
see-
us, but okay. But agreed.
He turns around just, all right, who's ready for a teleportation circle?
Let's do
Wasn't
this.
concerning at all.
I don't think that person is a good person. I think it's not. We should stop talking about
The
it.
destination is still
To the
France,
death.
correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Unless you can get us right into Scotland.
Can't really. Only people I knew how to do that are either off plane, off world, or off the rocker.
I love that.
Oh, Merlin.
I'm assuming same thing for Agrabah.
Oh no, but if you're in Agrabah, just don't play at any of the card tables there. Helpful advice.
All right.
Uh,
Been there once or twice. Yeah, you don't want to.
Stepping in, you see a person in lovely light blue robes with an intricate, it's like a silvery symbol with blue flame on it. Kind of steps forward, and you see this person puts a hand forward, makes a motion of head, mouth forward, and you watch as the circle runes start glowing.
So bad if it's a cleric from Tiger Lily.
As it does so, you watch as this current time, 8 in the morning of Corona, you'll be arriving at 5 a.m. in France. Enjoy your travel. And you feel... I need everyone to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, Lord.
Oh no! Sorry.
Come the freak on!
Let me know if you get above a 10.
Woo! Sorry, I was excited.
Okay.
I didn't think I
13.
would.
13, cool. Shit.
Did you get
Oh,
one?
baby,
Shit,
no.
No, I got
Eight.
6.
It is not above a 10.
6.
6.
This
3.
is what.
I have fantastic con. I rolled a natural 1.
Oh!
I'm so sorry.
Saris and
Oh my
Frank,
goodness.
maybe it's because you didn't sleep much last night, but you're already on your nerves.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
So
fair.
the gut-wrenching shift of someone who has never once traveled
Worse than what we just
planerly before, very graviturgical magic, actually. Fun fact, just that little. I mean,
That's so cool.
as you all appear, Kenai, you immediately hurl. Antigone and Kim, your vision blackens. You're going to be blinded for a second as just your whole body's just shift. And David, you pass out because your body goes from, oh, the sun is up, human, boom, shift, rip, and you pass out as your back is a gargoyle, technically, because the sun's not up here.
I was gonna say if it's graviturgical magic.
Graviturgical magic.
That like hit me extra weird.
You are passed out. It's
Yeah.
it's that you all watch as, poof, and suddenly that horrific sudden shift to gargoyle, and you just topple over.
Oh.
And you say,
Yay.
oh my goodness.
Okay then.
Franny and Saris, you see as like all your companions like puking, blinded, passed out. You two are fine, and you see a elderly gentleman in petticoat, waist high breeches, with a little pocket watch. Just now, I must say, please clean yourselves up. This is highly unusual.
I make
Hi.
my way to a garbage can.
Immediately, yeah, into a
There's
garbage can.
probably several in this room.
Yes, it's not uncommon. It's just like that. Oh, I thought we were dealing with people who knew this. And you see, he said that just, is this your first time traveling?
Yep.
Now, of course, I must confirm you are the recipients from Corona.
Yep.
Yeah, that's us.
Excellent. Which one of you is Mistress Antigone?
Who? Is what?
Antigone? Mistress Antigone?
That's me.
Ah, leader of your party. Well, welcome to France. Your stay here, of course, being waived. Length of stay?
Probably just like a day.
Thank you, sir.
1 day. Visas?
What are visas?
None of you have heard of visas before.
We were granted admission, so
Yeah.
you don't have to worry.
Exactly, yes. From one King Eugene, King Regent of Corona.
Yeah.
Your visa's from him.
Yeah, sorry, you must misunderstand. This
Was
is
he supposed to sign
Antigone.
something or something for us? Because You know how he is, right?
We in the Kingdom of France are practicing a visa-based to make sure that we introduce people to our kingdom, but to have either work or travel visas is always acceptable. Am I to understand you do not receive a visa?
Anybody want to wake me up?
Oh, you're just on the floor.
I'm gonna kind of go.
Spread eagle.
I know, we're like poking you. Like,
You're waking up eventually. It's just, it hurts everywhere. It's that migraine hangover, like,
Welcome to the land
Is
of
your
the
work
living.
visa?
You don't need
Profession
our
gladiator.
work visas.
Thank you, professional gladiator. We do not have any fighting arenas or festivals at the moment, but that
Do I
will
have
suffice.
a visa to travel anywhere? Or am I literally below?
There is, and this is what's going to be fun. It technically is a visa, but if anyone look closely at it, this is something Wade made for you on the communicator, where if they look at it once, you're great. If they look closely enough, it's forged. Because that's such a high thing to get. Excellent.
I'm going to look
Wanhira.
in my bag and hope. Did she give me a visa? Dang.
I will say, for the rest, it's that you don't have a visa. Eugene didn't give us anything before sending us off.
I'll grab
You-
5 gold.
You
Here's
like,
my visa.
Here, are there?
can you like send a sending or whatever and tell him who's supposed to do visas?
That
I
was
don't
her
think
idea.
he was
She's
aware
like,
of
do you like
this.
shiny things?
If that is the case, I will have an escorted carriage to take you to the country limits. Thank you.
Isn't the country an island?
Technically, you share it with Germany. There is, and so that's where he will either take you to the German side or to a port, depending on what you want.
We can choose. Can we go to a port? That's
Yeah.
where we want to go anyway.
Excellent. To the ports. Come along. And please, if you wouldn't mind taking your bucket with you to dispose of on the way out.
Yes.
Outside the door.
Yeah, just, okay.
Yeah, everyone do that.
Like,
Everyone-
oh, we drive out the door?
Outside the door.
Walking. This man is just. I am the Prime Minister of France. My name is Cogsworth. It is a pleasure to meet all of you. I have heard of you, Mistress Antigone. Welcome to our country. You see, founded millennia ago, and he's just starts spieling. Walking through France, out of the castle, you realize you were already in like a courtyard. Like when your eyes kind of adjust and everything, it's that, oh, we were outside. It's just dark. That's why it's that, oh, what's going on here? Walking around 2 carriages, you can see already there are people moving about their business, soldiers and politicians inside of this kingdom. Yes, hosting, of course, our proud monarchy, the King Adam, long may he reign, and, of course, his lovely wife, the Oracle and member of the Council of Princess, Mistress Belle, the Divinatory. But, of course, they are not here right now with important business, dealing with the world and its issues.
Did I roll an insider history or something? Are they gone for the same reason my parents are gone? Is that like, are they all on a huge
Oh! Make me a check.
that would make
Oh
sense
my
in context of what we
gosh.
learned.
Can I get help from Fluffy on this to roll with advantage?
Fluffy. Please do so.
And history? Or. That's gonna be a 19.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh.
Is Rapunzel really in Seporia?
Oh, he
Where'd
lied!
your parents go?
Oh no! Good.
What's going on?
I'm going to assume I have no clue where they went.
You don't
though.
know, and you don't even know if that's true. I will not tell you if you know if it's a truth or a lie, because people could believe something is true.
Yeah, so it may be true information.
But I
according
was
to
saying
him.
maybe you're picking up on they could all be dealing with something.
Oh gosh, I wonder
no.
if it's something to
And
do
you
with
guys
what
haven't
August
even
has
told
told
me
us.
about that, so I'm
You
even
know-
more worried, but I don't know because you guys haven't told me.
Gosh,
Oh
just
no,
when
that
I'm
doesn't
allowed
bode
to
well.
Yeah.
under threat of
Yeah.
Okay.
law.
I'm just gonna silently freak out about this.
Well, while she's doing that, I'm going to be looking for a blonde-haired, blue-eyed.
Every other page boy's blonde hair and blue eyed.
Dang it!
It's France.
Dang, they're all hot. There's just
That's her whole goal for adventuring. That's why she made a
find
pact.
a really hot
I'm
blonde
not-
hair blue eyed adventure.
A specific one.
I
Those
think
are
I'm
safe.
getting an idea.
Cool.
An idea? Cool.
But yeah, this whole time, that's
Whole time.
that's why she made a pact with her patron.
Oh gosh.
As you're looking through every other page boy, just like, excuse me, niece. Like all of you are watching. Ceres has that like
Oh,
as these page boys pass by with like inkwells, parchment, magical runes, like just excuse me, as you're just like in the
nope,
way.
that
of
doesn't
each
sound
of
like
them.
him. Nope.
Excusez-moi.
Nope.
Pardon.
What are you even saying? No.
Pardon, mademoiselle. Like all these random French boys, these garçons just moving in and out.
These garçons. I'm
These
sorry.
garçons, they're boys.
I know, that's just so funny. These garçons.
Les garçons. As Cogsworth takes you to the carriage, you realize this is a double-wide, intricately golden-gilded carriage. That some of you have been in, like
forget fish.
stuff before. People are just now reading the sneaky stuff I sent to them earlier. So a couple of you, I've just received. Like what?
What? What was that a reference to? Talk later. Okay.
But as all of you, only a couple of you. I'm not gonna tell who, because then you'll.
Oh no, you're gonna just like.
Why did Hannah get a message? No, you never know.
I did not miss anything.
Okay. Moving through the city, though, as you are getting ready to head off towards the port, France is slowly coming alive. As over the past couple of years, the kingdom has grown towards the castle. Again, the castle is now actually a huge part of their country, and so moving through a lot of newer buildings, higher, bigger buildings, out towards the French countryside. Eventually, though, as you travel, you are hearing the early morning birds begin their song. Dawn is starting to slowly break.
Oh no, not again.
Bonjour, 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 bonjour. As Dave sucking all back into your body, all the parts, and say, all you see, David is normal again. Cogsworth just, oh, my heavens, do not do that in my carriage ever again.
I don't think you can.
Now, this section of the city was built over 200 years ago.
Does anybody want to play a game? Please.
August, since we're relatively near Sumani,
He's gonna make us roll
check and
constitution
see if
checks.
Wade's gotten anything, or
You are near Sumani, and Wade can send you an immediate message. No luck yet.
okay.
Yes, you are in that ley line
Would you
area.
have said anything about Avalon?
Oh,
I
hey.
didn't really find a whole lot about Avalon.
While you have service, can you pass along your request for the thing in a couple of days? That we talked about?
To interrupt the
I think
message.
We wanted your friend.
Yeah, I can, can't I?
How many days do we have left?
7
Let's see,
or
it's
8.
been 7 days.
So we have 3 days left?
You
We just spent an
spent
extra
the
day.
whole day in Corona, so there's 2 days left.
2 days
Oh,
left.
boy.
Okay, so in 2 days.
So not tomorrow morning, but the
2
morning
days.
after.
The Witch of Dizania is coming for our ass.
Unless her friend pulls through.
Let's our friend pulls through, unless Wade can.
Really hoping.
You see, Wade is could take that message
And
if you
the
want.
son of a god. You
And
know.
we'll go. That's a
we'll
bit of a
worry
rush
about
job,
it.
Kim,
I
to
just love how we're
disrupt
more
a ley
stable
line
with
communication,
design
but I'll see what I
The
can do.
son of Zeus.
If anyone can
Because
do
my
it,
dad
you
is
can.
actually nice to people.
Yeah, but if
Yeah,
anyone could
her
do
kids
it,
are
I
like,
wouldn't be able
"Aw."
to.
Your mom is nice to certain people.
Yeah, Burke would just be like, let's get ice cream and talk about this.
Yeah, your
Maybe bring
mom.
unholy hellfire on us.
I cannot imagine the
Erupting in a
puberty
portal of
discussion.
Oh
Um,
gosh, no, please.
I want everyone to make me a perception check. while they
Indeed,
ride,
indeed.
As passing through France.
I am
I know mine.
sucking right now. I got a 10.
Yeah.
14.
14.
I'm just realizing the
Do I get
magnitude
anything
of
with
my
expertise
mission,
on
and I'm
these again?
overwhelmed. You do have
I
an inspiration point.
believe so. You have your inspiration
I
point.
do
Yeah.
have to roll after you.
You said it was perception?
Mm-hmm.
So that is 14.
14.
22.
22 for highest. What'd you get? Sorry. Oh. 8. Kenai, you briefly overhear. Yes, built by a guild of masons coming through the town, but of course we ended up expanding the town later on. Stop! So like, it's like Kenai erupts carriage into a stop.
I listened for a second, guys.
Amazing.
Still just banging my head against the side of the carriage.
Excuse
Are we
me, my
getting out
dear
of
boy,
carriage?
what is
Are
going
we
on?
getting out of the carriage?
I think we might want to look at some of the places.
Yes, we need to stretch our legs. Thank you so much. I get out.
Oh, excuse me. You immediately see before you can get out, there is guards hanging off the side of the carriage.
I need to use the
Stop.
bathroom. Where are some bushes?
We have a bathroom in the carriage.
Sweetheart, yeah,
No, bushes.
No, this is a private receptacle.
I pulled something with my
Kenai,
tail
heard about
retracted in. I kind
getting
of need to
made by
walk
the
that
Masons.
off.
But listen, unless you have specific visas, I can't allow you to out into our country, but the rest of you have to stay inside.
Okay.
Would you guys like to meet us at the border?
Can you be like our tour guide and tell us about some of these places?
Well, for those with visas and the ability to
Oh
be
my
in our
goodness, but
country.
we can't do this without them, sir. You know so much, and we
Can
can't
we-
possibly portray this back to them accurately.
This is a big
Wait,
persuasion.
I have a persuasion. Can I help her?
Can
You
we
got
all
persuasion.
persuade?
You've got a persuasion.
Want to give
Can
her a bardic?
Oh, that's good.
Cogsworth is a stickler.
But he also loves it when people actually pay attention to what he says.
I'm gonna let you know.
I am the undisclosed location.
You got a 19
Got
plus.
19. Plus 6 is a 25 for a DC.
Okay,
A
I can't
DC.
get that unless I use.
If you
Like,
had Bardic, would
Bardic,
you be able to?
you could
What
give
would
a
you
Bardic.
add?
Could.
What's your
persuasion?
Yeah.
My persuasion is a +1.
I've got a +4. I've got a
I've
+4.
5.
You got a +5. We should have Kenai do the talking.
Yeah, I've got a
Can you bardically
+4.
inspire yourself?
Unfortunately, no. So if you want the bardic, someone other than Kenai
Well,
has to
because
do it.
if he inspired you,
Okay,
+1 plus up to 6.
So who has the highest
But I do
persuasion
have lucky.
I have 4.
other than the? You have a 4. Okay. And
I
you've got a
Kim's got a
visa,
lucky.
so you should be the one who said because you've got the
Okay.
visa and you've got a
So
+4
Kim,
and then
if you
Bardic.
want to offer the advantage to David,
Okay.
and
Bardic.
Kenai can give
Yes,
the bardic.
here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Wait,
Box
I
of Doom,
can't-
because
I
you're.
can't use lucky on anyone but myself.
No, you can. Oh no,
No, but
yeah.
you're giving the help action.
You're giving the help
I
action.
get the help action.
Yeah, so
That's
it
it's different
does a
than
similar
lucky.
thing.
It's
Okay, I
you're-
wanted to make sure that we.
because you're the one person. You two have the visas. Is why I'm
Or
allowed.
can I roll and then decide which
Yeah.
one to give the bardic to?
Let's no. Here's what we'll do. Roll the bardic first. Let's see what you
Okay.
can give
Yeah.
to the bonus first.
Roll high, baby.
That's a 3.
Not bad.
So you have a +7 on advantage. You gotta get an 18 or higher.
Oh my gosh.
Do it.
It's a 9 and a 4.
Dang it.
Unfortunately, you see, that is unfortunately out of the question. I must stay here as per my duties to anyone traveling using magic into our country.
So if we can't
Boom,
travel
boom,
with you
boom,
around, can we like pick your brain about the Mason people you were talking about? We've been doing some research on them because we just came from Corona. Apparently there's some
Historians!
history
Oh,
there.
you should have told me you were interested in architecture and history.
Yes.
You see, it was told that the Masons that first built the second oldest quadrant in France came here by boat from England. Now, of course, England was not England at the time. A dreadful mess of houses, but
Buddy.
yeah, you will trust me, it's gonna get worse.
He's so done with
Is he like in the
Cogsworth.
front of the carriage?
No, so here's important to note. Yes, in the carriage, Cogsworth is sitting like in the middle. If that
Serious
makes
is
sense.
really time
Think
to
of
go
it more
sleep
like
on all
limo
of us.
style of like you're all kind of like sitting looking at each other. With there's a break with doors on either side, but there are guards because it's that technically legally they have to make sure no one just like bolts because again. France is now working through visas and they don't just kind of like let anyone in anymore. That in a way of we're trying to like
friend-
regulate growth.
Finagle
Not
something?
fast enough.
Not fast enough.
I mean, I could text them and ask him, but that'd probably be the answer, especially since I've asked him to do like 2 other
Would they
things.
wait for us? If
Wade's
two
got a
people-
lot on his
He's
plate.
got a lot on his plate.
Would they wait for us, like, if we stayed in the carriage, if the 2 people with visas went out?
If you two went out, they actually probably wouldn't.
Yeah, they
Like
probably
you four would
could
just keep it.
So who has
Because again, it's
visas?
that we're taking you to the port because they don't have any order forms or anything to like suddenly put you all up in the safe night. So it's that like we got to make sure that
You know
we are
what I
working as
miss?
fast as possible
Having
to make sure you guys
we
are
get
ready
to go
leave.
anywhere because
Yeah.
Mufasa.
So if they want to get out, you two could get out and go, but the rest of you four would like continue on towards the port, and that's like up to you guys.
Honestly,
I don't mind splitting up.
I don't mind splitting up in that sense because if we really want to get to know what is going on Masonic wise, France wouldn't be a bad idea. And chances are, if we actually ask them to go to Germany border instead, if you could get to the German city, you could probably learn more about the Masons there as well. Because chances are they actually built Germany. Which we
Right,
could
but
ask
like we
Cogsworth.
know there's stuff in Scotland and our goal is still Agrabah, so I don't think we
Yeah.
want to make like 3 stops.
That's
I don't
true.
think so either.
It's true, yeah. That would be another place. Again, there's no wrong places,
Plus,
but
we
it's
might-
that where do you want to try?
I mean, they
first?
might have similar things that they're trying to copy France with, and so they might start
So
doing
does
these
anyone
as
have
well.
the message cantrip?
No,
I don't
I
know.
want to take it, but I don't get another cantrip for a while.
So I want to ask, would you be trying to use a language right now? Because like, how much of this do you want to try to say out loud? Because Cogsworth is in the car. In terms of like playing around. Like usually I allow metagame,
Oh, I
but
do.
in
Those
this,
are mine too. I have message and poison spray. I kid you not.
That's helpful.
Use
Franny,
messages.
then I will say you can be the
Go
waypoint
between.
of like messaging. You know, pointing your finger, telepathically communicating in this short range of like,
Okay.
what do you want? What do you want? Okay, in learning, I just need to confirm that because I'm like technically, if not,
Then
people
all
around you
this.
could hear.
Yeah.
Nope, we got that. That helped a lot with Louis.
Just to distract and make sure that he isn't seeing this conversation going on.
Mhm.
We'll be like, have you ever heard of Elder Mersha and Brood?
Elder Marsha is a wonderful elder. She does a lot in there.
Ooh, I
But
didn't expect
honestly, our relationship with the Orc people of Brood has always been one of strain. We will send carts of our finest furniture, and they send back death threats for us chopping down wood to do so.
Yeah. I was actually coming, like, part of the reason that I'm traveling is just to kind of, I'm from Brood. I want to improve those relations.
Oh, wonderful, yes.
Someone
From the
talking
Orc
about
Nation.
splitting up.
Well, yes, yeah, I'll say, like,
You
having
write
that
it out
conversation
in
is
the
enough
box
to
and
offer.
then we
Cool.
can keep going.
Maybe we'll. So that is you guys have an opportunity right now if you two, because you would be allowed, you're legally allowed in France to just hop off and go check out some stuff real quick. It's just knowing,
See, I'm
'cause
totally legal.
Cogsworth would have to keep taking you guys to the port, but while there, you could say like, hey, legally we don't have to leave, we could just sit here and wait for our friends. Like, it's not like Cogsworth's gonna put you on a ship right now.
Is there a picture on visas?
A picture on visas
Like
or
a
like,
driver's license picture?
no, usually it just
Okay,
needs
can I
a
just grab his after he gets off and be like, found it.
Wouldn't
trying
it have
a
your names on it
deception.
though?
It's something. So yes, here's the
If he doesn't want me to, then I won't.
because
It's
yeah,
totally fine
it
if
would
you don't.
have names. So if he looks close enough, it could be that. Oh, this is a work gladiatorial visa. Wait a sec, I just saw this. It's that
Okay.
because usually a visa needs to be something usually involving your identity,
That makes sense.
form, profession, and some form of seal. Like yours is probably like a Sumanian seal of
Mhm.
gladiatorial. Like, hey, it's kind of like an MMA fighter
Yeah.
style thing. And so,
Okay.
and for Kim's, Wade basically made the, I'm an adventuring hero, even though you're technically not licensed, but you do enough work already that most people just like, no one's gonna be a bug about it except Cogsworth. But he thought it was okay.
Yeah, I'll just keep talking with Cogsworth then.
Cool.
Wait, so we'll get off.
Yeah.
Is that the consensus? Are you guys okay with that?
Sure.
And in the message chain, I'll
In
just
the message chain, yeah.
My
I'll
goodness.
just remind everyone.
Sir.
He
Are you
said
trying
that
to
this
sell
area
everyone
of
stuff?
town was created by the Masons.
Yeah.
Oh,
He said, yeah,
Yes.
part of
That's a
France
yes.
was
Oh
built
my
by
God.
Masons, and that's huge. Anything about the Masons is huge right
Yeah.
now.
Is France one of the oldest kingdoms in Desanya?
Yeah.
I'm wondering now if some of the original cities or countries were made by the Masons.
Really right now?
And that's why, yeah.
forgot
If
how much
Kim
you
and
gave
if Kim and David want to hop off,
Okay.
we would cut because basically, yeah, Cogsworth would take the rest of you for to port. You would wait for you.
I
to
want to
Yeah.
ask Cogsworth a question, like before we just like, okay, you arrive at the port. What was the year that France was built? Was founded, I should say.
Looking up timelines, gotta say everything.
Basically, I'm asking, does it match within a few decades of when Corona was also founded?
France was built. He will just tell you.
Mm-hmm.
In the year 200. Like back when
Whoa.
they started recording
Yeah,
history.
not
But
too
France
long
has
after.
always been an isolationist, just very simple kingdom.
Okay.
It's never hit any of the big maps
Right.
until like Adam and Bell. But by being old enough, that's why it's like this is an OG type of city. It's why there's that knowledge of being built by the Masons. Makes sense, because again, Masons started emerging when the Great Wish Wars were. Like as far as other Martian
Yeah.
like around that 2000 millennia mark. So if France is that old, or at least the townships are, that's huge.
Dragons.
In which case, here's what we'll do. We are going to cut then as
I hope
Again,
you guys find out really
David
cool
and Kim,
things.
you're totally allowed. Like, Cogsworth can't stop you. You have legal visas unless you break laws, and he's not a jerk. He's not looking to kick you guys out. It's just the rule.
Yep.
You two can get out. Let me know where you want to go. Are you going, like, right for where he was gesturing in the crowd, like, in that part of the city, or...
I'm gonna go. I'd say we look for like this building at the center of the city.
I want to keep just looking out for the two Masonic symbols that we maybe look at that.
Mhm.
Because I feel like once we see that,
That's
we're
what
going
I'm
to get
saying.
a clue to what's
The
going on.
oldest building.
That
and,
one, yeah.
like, the oldest
It just may
one.
not be the
Um,
center because the
In
center
which
has
case,
changed
you make
since
me
it so much.
investigation rolls.
Oh yes.
Here's what's fun, and we're getting back into
Buddy,
our fun
you
bits.
are so cute.
I get to use my fun playlist.
It's cocked.
August, I keep on being
Ooh.
surprised by how much work you put
19.
into this.
Do you want to be held, little mister, or is he trying to fall
19.
asleep?
I would really like him to start like relaxing.
Does
David
he fall
and
asleep
Kim.
like
Do you
that?
want?
It is early
you won't
morning in
fall asleep like
France.
this.
I would actually say, again, the castle is about an hour out of town. So I should point out, by the time you've gotten into carriage, by everything's happening, you're looking at about actually 8 in the morning. Because again, buildings have been built out towards the kingdom, but again, the castle was far out. Again, Prince Adam, when he had his whole curse thing, like they really isolationed himself. Working your way through the city. It is about 8 in the morning. People are moving. Everyone's going. And with your investigation, as you're starting to look through, eventually you find an old part of the city. What you're realizing is this looks like an old battlement, like old parapets, like kind of what we would consider like in the Revolutionary War, like where they first made a Bunker Hill. It's one of those, but you're realizing it has been repurposed. It is now a French tourism shop. Like you're seeing people of different nations, nationalities, and races are coming in and out because it's that like, oh, you can get information here. It's an old building.
Thank you, love.
Who got the higher investigation? Just real quick, because I think
You got what?
17.
I got 19.
The 19. That's what I was just quickly confirming. On the 19, a high window, old glass, one that looks like the glass is newer, has the Freemason symbol in the design.
So the Freemasons weren't the first to build the city, but they added on to the city.
It probably came back in and either finished it off or did additions to it.
So, should we go into the building? I'm curious.
Sure,
Like,
sure.
it's in a window,
Yeah,
you said?
that one.
And it's a tourist building, so it's okay to go in.
It's
It's
just
not
that this
privately
is a
owned.
building people are expected to be coming in and out of.
Yeah.
You guys slip in. Inside, you see a elven woman just. Bonjour, welcome to the tower. How may I help you?
Just looking around.
Oh, welcome. This is Bastille. Long ago, when we had a revolution in France, we had a bit of a strange era to our country. But of course, we have found a new People's Republic under the direction of our King Adam, though we are now technically a democratic republic. Is there any questions I might assist you with?
Okay, your French accent is actually really
Oh, merci,
great.
monsieur. Fun fact,
I would
I've
hope
studied
so.
French
She's
for
French.
years. I actually
I
know
didn't
French.
know that.
Yeah, it's one of those like you never like bring it up because like I would feel so uncomfortable if an actual French person was like, "Let's talk."
no,
but
I get
no,
that.
I've taken French.
Yeah.
Right, like
This
it's
guy's
that's
got
any
gas.
language. But you see,
Big, powerful gas.
how may I help you?
Yeah, is that better? Is that better?
It might actually be
wander
a-
on our own, or do we have to have a
Oh,
tour?
please, we do have a tour happening in the next. Looks like 5 minutes. If
So
you'd
can
like
we
to join the
wander
group.
around without a tour guide?
Oh no! We must. Some of the areas of the tower are not structurally. How you say it in common? Safe. We want to make sure that our guests are in the roped off areas so that you may understand completely our history and heritage.
Fair enough.
Let's stay for a tour and let's keep an eye out for what we're looking for.
That's what I was thinking.
It might be in an unsafe area.
Might be an unsafe area.
You
Waiting,
may
you
wanna check
see
his diaper.
that as this happens,
It's
He may-
full enough.
the
Where
tour
did you
is
come
going.
from, sir? Sorry.
The tour starts up, and you see a gentleman, looks more human. You see like much darker skin, that more like Afro-Latino skin. Just in France, back in the 7th millennia, way before the eras of the War of Desolation, back when, of course, the founding of the kingdoms of Fantarda, France was entering a period of civil unrest. The rift between the monarchy and the lower classes were very interesting. You see, the tour takes a moment, but the gist is just talking about how, yes, back 7th millennium, when Fantalda was having that great political, like, let's all work together, France was in a bloody revolution, civil war. It was bad. You see, though, the tour guide bringing you through, eventually talking, these windows were from some of the first prisoners that were kept here in the Tower of Bastille. We kept the, David, you notice, the roped off section must lead up to that window you saw.
Okay.
And you see, prisoners were kept here, and unfortunately, it is something we are comfortable to admit, that they were not all French citizens. That unfortunately, other citizens from countries were taken and imprisoned here against their will before being... yes, sir.
Would any of those happen to have been the masons that were working in the area?
Very clever response. Oh, oui, monsieur. Very close. We had some masons in the area that did help build these areas. You see, not just the masons, but the masons, the politicians, the workers and craftsmen at the time that helped make these battlements were in fact imprisoned in their own works. In fact, in revolutionary Monsieur Robespierre, who in fact and you see he starts like kind of tying it into like the guillotine and that invention. But literally it's that, so clever.
So, here's my thought, and I would whisper this to
Yeah.
him without them hearing.
Oh, it's easy enough, Jordan.
Okay. First of all, how big is this group of tourists?
Oh, that's a very important question. You ready for this?
It is.
It's only us.
Two
We're
people.
screwed.
There is, out of, oh my gosh, that's a pretty small group. About 10 people. So you make up 2 of those 10. Or excuse me, you 2 of the 12. 10 other people. Sorry.
Okay. So,
Okay.
here's my thought. We just kind of stay back a little bit. I get out my grapple. We go shoom, 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 and we ride up
Zip up the tower.
and go to the top of the tower and see what's there.
That works
And
for me.
maybe I have an idea. If this is like stained glass, wherever it hits on the wall, there could be another matching symbol.
Yes. Something hidden if the light hits it right.
Mhm.
Yes.
Here's what I'll say. Go ahead, give me stealth checks. It's not a bad stealth. Again, this is a tour guide. You see, this gentleman is already starting to work around. He is talking about, with the guillotines, the prisoners were in fact led, and kind of like starting to talk about more of the rest of like the parts of this tower, or excuse me, this building. So already the tour group is moving, so it's not terrible DC.
That's 18.
18?
I'm finding my still. There it is. 14.
14.
Do you have any
Beats the
inspiration?
DC by
I do.
2.
You. Oh.
DC 12. Again, it's not
Oh,
a
thank
bad
goodness.
DC. It's easier when you're like, hey, you guys did a smart thing. You went with the tour group. Slipping away, waiting for them to turn the corner, and just hanging back, taking steps back. Easy walk over this rope, because again, immediately the second you walk into this part of this tower, the floorboards are creaking heavily. The rock, it's that. Ooh, this doesn't feel great. But again, walking into the middle, Kim, no technique. Grappling hook's ready, and it can take you both all the way up. 50 feet exactly. It's not a very high tower, but it's one of the taller points that you saw from the outside. You walk up into this room. The door is gone, taken who knows how many centuries ago, but you see a jail cell. In this jail cell is what looks to be a lot of markings on the wall. Real quick, what languages do you guys speak?
Elvish and Abyssal.
Oh crap. Do they have to speak Undercommon?
It's a variety, but let's see. What languages do you speak here?
I know Common, Orc, and Abyssal.
Oh crap.
The words in common because again, common's been around for a while. French do have their own subset of common, French.
You know how they be.
You know how they be. They want to be cool. This nation's been around for forever. But you see that there is a lot of history here. You're seeing words written. There is like tally marks in the wall. You see like notes scratched in common on the floorboards that seem to be written like to loved ones of their last moments in this tower. And you get that realization this was dark. Again, people waiting to die and in their last moments. But you see on the wall the stained glass mason symbol. Here's what we're gonna need is an investigation check of this room. Because again, you kind of have the idea of where does the light point, what does this refract into the room and happen?
Okay, I've got expertise in investigations.
Do I give him the help action or?
I would recommend.
Well, what's your
that.
investigation mod? Okay, I've got 4.
So if you want to give the help action, because again, you're working as a pair. That's what it helps. At least 2 of you had a visa,
And
right?
that just gives me advantage, right?
Yep. So having advantage, go ahead and roll this investigation.
Okay.
All right, you got advantage. Thank goodness. I can't tell
Good.
what
It's a 3.
those.
Do I risk my point of inspiration?
Yes.
Yes.
I would say yes, because it expires
This
at the
is
end of this
important.
day
Yeah,
It
anyway.
it's
expires
true.
the end of it. It's, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. 13 was the highest I got.
13.
Wait, August.
Lucky.
I
You
have
can't use it for
increased
other
skill
people.
in spotting things hidden.
Oh, what?
So what does that mean?
It means you're allowed to offer the advantage for this kind of check.
Oh.
A 13. Here's where you know that I am a horrible storyteller, and I can't do anything better than what the dice do.
Yeah.
Oh no.
All I can do is interpret.
You're a horrible storyteller.
Hearing
I'm sorry.
those
What?
words echoing through the tower of this tour guide. The prisoners were taken at dawn to meet their untimely end. As those first rays of the morning hit them, beating exactly the DC 13 because you chose to be here in the morning, or rather because of the events of the day, is exactly what you need in this room. Any earlier or later would have been very hard.
Oh my
That is
god.
amazing.
That's, I can't plan that. That's just, I'm like, yeah, because how my chart works,
That is
this
so
is-
cool, August.
it's in the morning.
2
'Cause
for 2. You and your Masonic.
that's in the morning. The light is slightly refracting into the room. There's not one beam, but you again, how stained glass works, it kind of spreads. Looking at the light again, no color. It's all simple pane work. But out of all the points, hitting the iron of the door, the wood of the floor, hitting into itself, like lights crossing, there is one beam that seems to be resting on the wall.
So it's just like a solid single point. I'm gonna go up and like try investigating, maybe like pushing right where the light's hitting.
You're kidding me.
This is
This
cool.
is so worth
This is
splitting
really
up.
cool.
Yeah.
This is worth it.
Remember says never split the party. He's an idiot.
There are moments.
Yeah.
The whole castle.
High risk, high reward.
falls over. Oh gosh. So yeah. So like, is it like a door in the wall clicks out, or
It is a hollow stone.
What?
pull it out?
You
Glasses
crunch
down.
and just that bare hand crunching that dry old mud. Pull out. Inside this stone is what seems to be a piece of glass. It is a framed portrait, sketched who knows how long ago. but both of you hear someone behind you.
We.
How
we
good
flew
is
too
your
close
sleight
to
of
the
hand?
sun.
Right, Miss Possible! You're going to hand over that object, or my name isn't Duff Killigan, and you'll do so in the name of Her Majesty Queen Victoria!
What?
Swinging a golf club and flipping a golf ball in the air. Thicklebeard Duff Killigan, who you've had the unfortunate opportunity of meeting before, is standing behind you, levels the club.
On Earth.
And if you give it to me quickly, I'll kill you fast. That's where we're gonna end tonight's session. Thank you all so much for playing. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.
Just saying it was worth it.